Hey everybody, hey Kesha. Adam is, what am I doing today? I'm gonna wrap up the pathfinding stuff. Well, that's what I said last time too. Hey Phil. But this time I mean it. Yeah, Adam is going to wrap up the pathfinding work from last week. It ended up being much more complex. Well, not really complex, much more involved than he thought it would be. If there's time after that, he'll just work on other Skeleseller stuff. All right, that's the today command. I'm also hoping I am feeling better. I've been feeling better every day, although it's gradual. I'm hoping that today is just a normal day and I feel like I'm at my normal energy level. Let's start by looking through the tenets. There are very few of these, and I haven't done a review in a while. It's been since May 20th, so it's been a little over a month. But part of the reason why is I was on vacation. So it's really only been about a week. So post-stream to-dos. I think this is going well, but I'm not really back in the swing of things yet to know for sure. Get to the point. I think this is probably generally on track. I do think I'm not prioritizing the most important tasks sometimes. Sustainability, just went on vacation, so this feels fine. Well, it's not even that just went on vacation. I've been sick since I got back and have been taking lots of rest time and not worrying too much about how long I've been streaming. And then celebrate the successes. Only just got back, no real opportunity for this yet. Yeah, but let's try to look at that a little bit more. What has been going well? I mean, the pathfinding stuff is underway. I'm happy about that. The game is looking better and better. Dark's work while I was gone was great. I don't think there's too much else. Yeah, last week just seemed like such a short week. I only streamed in the morning on that one day. I guess this tells the real story here, right? Got back June 17th, did 6 hours, 8, 12, 14. Yeah, 14 hours when normally I would have done like 18. Yeah, we were pretty light on stream time last week. Well, what are you going to do? All right. Now, I wrote tackle a fun task, but we are not on tackle a fun task. We are on tackle an annoying task, which is all of this stuff. I spent some time over the weekend, and I tried getting the pathfinding to work a little bit better. There are still some issues. I can't get cardinal movement working totally properly. Like, characters will eventually just get stuck on a corner. And I have an idea for what I can do about that, but yeah, there's some annoying stuff. You can also see every once in a while a character will just kind of move in a bunch of different directions, like this. This is them being stuck, and I know why they're stuck. They're trying to move straight up. But even if they weren't stuck right now, and eventually they shouldn't be, yeah, every once in a while I'll just see them like flip out and go in like 3 different directions. Like they're turning in weird ways. Maybe they should always, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how hard it's going to be to fix some of that stuff. But yeah, we need to try. So yeah, let's wrap up what I had done. Got to clean up some of this stuff. These are all just random cleanup stuff. This bug, I think, is gone now. Okay, yeah, let's clean up the code. So navigation agent component, this is something I added yesterday. This is so that all the workers, the customers, and the adventurers can all have a navigation agent without me having to add it through the scene tree or through Godot, the editor. So that's good. Then now there are target location things. And if there is a navigation agent component, this will set the position as soon as we get the target. So I think that's good too. These should probably inherit from something common. There is an iSeeks target. Emit reach target. Where else is this used? Is it just for those two things? Yeah. We could put something here like set target position. I don't think it's worthwhile. I think ideally what I should do, maybe I should write this down, is that systems should be the ones that have code like this. Yeah. Yeah. That's what ideally should happen. So file a task to have systems get component added to entity instead of the components themselves. This is not a, this is more for the sake of keeping logic in systems rather than components. For example, target location component uses added to entity to modify a navigation agent component. For one, it shouldn't be doing this, since that's logic that should be in a system. However, it's also duplicated by target item display component. Yeah. For now, not a big deal. I don't care too much about that. What do we have in the navigation system? This had to change the physics process because of, what is it called? Get next path position. Apparently this needs to be called every physics tick. Yeah, I've got to clean up this code. But otherwise, I think everything is looking pretty good. We have a destination. What is this used for? Nothing. Yeah. Okay, that's looking good. That's looking good. This is kind of mostly fine, I'd say. Yeah. Oh, I got rid of the initial worker. Oh my God, I forgot I did that. I was testing something yesterday. I'm like, where'd that worker go? Now it makes sense. Okay, really, the code doesn't look too bad except for one function. The rest of this stuff is, yeah, mostly fine. This probably needs to be changed too. 36. There's no easy way to figure out the coordinates of this. Is there a way to show you where you're pointing at? Like coordinate wise? View. Show helpers? What are helpers? I do not know. Yeah, weird. Show when snapping. We could just show this always. Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that. We got coordinates at the top now. Whoa, what? Create horizontal guide. How do we undo that? Whoa, no. I don't want a second one. Well, how do you remove those? Huh. Okay, well, I found out how to add them, that's for sure. Clear guides, there it is. How funny. Okay, so we had 36. 36 is, let's see, these are by 16, so this is 40. So we should probably just set this to 48. 48 down to 272. 272 minus 48. Okay, cool. And then what about the y coordinate? It says negative 80. It says 262 though. Oh, darn it. I'm modifying the wrong thing, aren't I? No, wait, I'm not. No, negative 80. And then this goes down to, and again, none of this really matters here. Let's have it go down to 128. 128 minus negative 80. You can't do that. So just plus 80, I guess. All right, there's that one. Next was over here. This is just to make these not go way out of bounds. So 272. And we want to go up to 400. 400 minus 272. And then the last ones here are 192. Down to 320. What is that? 128. There. All right. I think we can check this in now. What else changed? Change these scenes around a little bit. Added polygons. Modify the collision layer. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Looks good. Shops now have collision on the item bins. Item displays have collision. Customer is a character body and has collision. Adventurer is a character body and has collision. Where's the character body part of this, though? I don't see that. There it is. Okay. Yeah, this I really don't want to check in, but I'm just going to check it in. I'm not going to spend forever trying to fix that. The one problem we have is this code. This code is garbage. I wonder if we did this. Okay, so I got rid of cardinal movement for a second. Will this make the entities look better as they're walking? I know they're not going to move cardinally, and that's going to make them look weird, but will they turn left and then right all of a sudden and keep doing what they were doing before? Or is it mostly smooth now? Yeah, maybe it's just a problem with the cardinal movement. It's hard to know for sure. These customers don't face a different direction, so we'd only be looking at the skeleton and this adventurer. And I guess we could add in another couple adventurers. There. They don't ever look like they're doing anything too funky. They are, oh wait, there. It just, when it got to the destination, it just a little bit weird. And I guess anytime they idle, then they end up facing to the right. That could be changed though. Yeah, they're mostly good, I think. Now what if we grant items here? They go get the items. They drop them off. The other one gets the item, drops it off. Good. Yeah. Hey, Sir Puffin. I'm feeling a lot better than last week. I feel like if this isn't normal, this is close enough to normal. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete all of this code, which is maybe dumb. Hang on a second. Let's do this. Why is this maximized? I want to search for source RG navigation system. Do I have this in here? I do. And does this have the cardinal code? It probably does. I don't want any of this anyway. Yeah, I'm going to just delete this for right now. So this whole cardinal direction thing, just get rid of it all. And get rid of this. Back from vacation now too, trying to catch up on tickets. Oh boy. Yeah. Things that you don't look forward to when you're on vacation. I think it's nice to be productive though. So that alone is kind of cool. Is navigation finished? All right, this code is much better. This I want to put in somewhere. I don't know where I want to put this. Maybe also save this line somewhere. I hate having a job. I hate not having a job. I guess each thing comes with its own form of stress. Unless someone just paid you money to do nothing anyway. Think about that, Nick. Okay, are we looking good here? Yeah, I think so. I think this should be constant. It should be somewhere maybe up here. Now this should be done no matter what, right? This is if it has component navigation agent, and I guess also that it is a character body 2D. If it's not, I guess we just throw. Can I do that? If entity is maybe I'll just put an else here. Throw new illegal, what's it called? There's some like operation exception, valid operation exception. Entity must be character body 2D. Sure. If I could work 25 hours per week and have benefits and make the same as I do in 40 hours a week, I'd be golden. Yeah, I think 40 hours a week is really, really tough, especially in a lot of technical fields. It's like you might not have that much mental energy, and just keeping your butt in a chair for that long is not actually doing anything for the company. The one thing I guess you could argue is if you're all in office, then having your butt be in a chair not doing work means you're still available for other people. And I guess that can be valuable. But I think there needs to be a shared understanding that, like, okay, you can slack off for 15 hours while you're at work. And maybe there is that shared understanding already. Okay, so I've deleted all of the cardinal movement. We got to get that back. Technically, this function name is wrong. Yeah, that's the part you have to be silent about. No, but really, I think there is kind of an understanding that doing 40 hours of meaningful work every week at a technical job, like if you're a programmer, I think is generally not that doable. Titrate the workout to meet my mental points, keep my mental points in check. Yeah. Yeah. I think that productivity in general has gone to the point where expecting people to work for 40 hours all the time is somewhat antiquated. But like I said, I think there is still value in the whole availability thing, just having people around. Get most of my work done in about 20 hours. Other 20 is me sitting around in case someone needs to connect around about something. Yeah. Yeah. And for remote work, I think that 20 hours of sitting around could at least be done doing other stuff. And it's like, oh, you get a message, you respond to the message. But when you're in an office, I think it's a little different and there's a need to keep up appearances to some extent. You get a flood of tickets. It's hard though. Yeah, yeah. If you, this is one of the things I always wondered about. Like, imagine if you're an Amazon delivery driver or something. I hear they have very stringent requirements around here's how many packages you need to deliver, here's how fast you need to do it. And they have stats on this. And so if you don't keep up to those stats of whatever, I guess the average worker or something, or whatever their expectations are, then it's too bad. That level of pressure does not feel healthy to me. And I guess most of the people in those jobs said it wasn't healthy. Yeah, sitting around is laundry, cooking, gaming, watching videos. Yep. Yeah. And then I feel like that's a pretty good setup that you've got. Okay, so we're going to say add navigation. This isn't totally working yet. For example, the characters aren't only moving in cardinal directions. However, this lays enough of a foundation that I can build on it. Also, this technically moves us to a beta version of Godot. I don't know if I want to keep that particular change. Okay, we got to check this into a different branch. Yeah. Git make branch. It's like git branch -d. I always look this up. Git branch, new branch, main. I thought there was like a dash. Oh yeah, git checkout -b. I guess we can just do git branch. So git branch, what do we call this? Pathfinding? Main. Git branch. Git check. I guess git checkout was needed anyway. Switch to pathfinding. Okay, so it's not add navigation, it's add pathfinding. And maybe I should have renamed something instead of navigation agent. Maybe, well, no, they're called navigation agents. What else do we have to do here? Well, a bunch of things. Let's commit that for now. We're on the other branch, right? Yeah, we're on the other branch. It's the old school way of doing it. What's the new way of doing it? Because that seemed like what I would have wanted to do. Okay, so chase logic I technically did. Now the cardinal stuff, I think we need to do that again. Navigation system should rename location to destination. Navigation system. I mean, this is an easy enough change where let's just do it, right? It's called target location. I mean, I guess that's the same thing as a destination, so fine. Let's rename this to destination. And let's rename this to destination. There. That was it. That's the only change I wanted to make there. I don't know why this is even showing up. This looks like a problem. Single line comments should not be followed by a blank line. I don't even see a comment in this entire file other than this one. And that does have a blank line there. Maybe we need to just restart the whole everything. Get branch name. But that only makes a new branch. It doesn't actually switch to it. I guess I wanted to do both. I don't know. I'm old school as well. All right. This is still... What is this squiggly doing here? It's... What? What's going on? I don't think there's a problem here, right? Oh, hey, we have a bunch of little issues. I'm gonna write this down too. Do a build in VS Code and fix whatever issues come up. This one's done though. This is just a rename location. I don't even think it's worth testing. It doesn't matter. Rename location to destination. This should just make it slightly easier at a glance to tell what's happening. Never learned that two-step process. Yeah. And I guess there are times when you just want to make a branch, but not in the situation I was in, at least. All right, any other random little things here? Worker nodes, make the top wall have that graphic. Need to improve AI. Stop granting workers. NPCs can get... Actually, this is probably just... Maybe make a separate debug function for it. This whole list is now borked. There we go. The bullet points are different, which shows you that there's a problem there. Anything else? No, yeah. So we just need to get cardinal movement working. And I've been thinking about this. I think we need to write down exactly how this should work. So an agent has a destination, and we want them to only move in cardinal directions to get there. So the high level algorithm with no collision is move along the shorter axis until at the destination. That's it. However, with collision, we can run into a case where the shorter axis has a wall blocking you. So in that case, we need to move along the longer axis. And that's it. That's the whole thing. I don't think this is supposed to be super complex or anything. I even have this picture here, although it's in negative color. Is there an easy way to just make this show up in... whatever, I'll just turn off Dark Reader for a second. All right, sorry, this is blinding you. All right, this is a little bit hard to tell what's going on here. In fact, let me just take a picture of this, and that way I can put this back in dark mode. There, okay. Turn dark mode back on, go over to this thing. All right, so here's our picture. Like I said, a little hard to tell what's going on. There is this agent, this skeleton, and it has a collision box represented by this tiny little blue square. And this blue square is a collidable wall. So when the skeleton moves directly right, the two collision boxes touch and the skeleton doesn't move at all. This red line is where the skeleton wants to move to. So it's trying to go up there. The problem is that the shorter axis, if you picture this as a triangle, so if we draw in a triangle here, the shorter axis is the x-axis, and that means that that's why we're trying to move to the right first. But we can't because there's a wall. So all we should do is move up until there is no wall and then move right. So that's it. This is not super complex. Also, I guess this point should probably be rendered right there. I wonder why it's the... Oh, because of the radius that we have. Okay. That's maybe not a problem. Let's think about that some more. No. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. So that's all we need to do. And I don't think it should be hard. Maybe this is clear mind Adam who's trying to say it shouldn't be hard. All right. So here we have this velocity and whatever else. We're going to do what we did before here, which is we break this down into the horizontal distance and the vertical distance. So horizontal distance equals this, except for this should be math.abs. Actually, should it? I don't know. We could always vertical distance. Same thing there. Man, it's still giving me that problem. Single line comments should not be followed by blank line. I think it's just lost its marbles. Yeah, I don't know what it's talking about there. So we want to go in the direction that is shorter as long as there's no problem there. So if the horizontal distance is less, we're going to try moving in just that direction. Character.velocity. What's math.sign? Oh, I see. No, not exactly this, right? Does this work? This would have to be normalized. No, it doesn't even have to be normalized, right? Sign horizontal distance. Positive means we'd move right. No, I guess this is correct. Next path position minus X. It's going to be positive when we're going over right. Yeah. Wow, okay. Okay, so all this is saying is this is the direction we'd like to move in. But then move and slide might have a collision. So call get last slide collision for detailed information about collisions that occurred. So I want to call this, I don't know what this even returns, var foo equals whatever. Character.get. All right, it's a kinematic collision. What does this have? Can we figure out like how we slid here? This is much harder to read than the documentation, so let's go to the documentation. Get collider, get remainder. Aha. I think that's what I want. Where is it? Returns the moving object's remaining movement vector. Yeah. So if there's a lot of remaining, yeah, so this is like collision. How do we know that a collision even happened? Get collider. What's travel? Returns the moving object's travel before the collision. Okay, sure. I mean, there's get collider. How do we know this even exists? Character, body, 2D. Move and slide maybe can return null? Or not move and slide. What's this thing called? Get last slide collision? I just want to search for that. Search did not match any documents. How's that possible? Get last slide collision. What? Where's the official documents for this? What? What is going on? Get last slide collision. Oh, I see. It's called get slide collision. Get slide collision? Where I'm just trying to find where this thing exists. It must be here. Slide collision. Yeah, here. Okay, I don't know why I couldn't find the documentation for this. Returns a kinematic collision 2D. Can this be null, though? Huh. Okay, well, then let's just print this out, I guess. gd.print collision. Yeah, this is... I haven't finished coding the logic. So, oh, Calic, thanks for the resub. I don't have sound on right now, so I can't actually hear the resubs. I have to see them in chat. Thank you for the 28 months. Yeah, my speaker does this thing where it's got a little bit of I don't know what it is, like electrical interference. So it's making this like thumping sound. Oh, it can be null. It shouldn't always be null though, right? Well, I guess that's fine. Yeah, so I just turned it off so I don't hear that feedback. And I think I just got to buy new speakers at some point. I started looking into it, but it's really hard to tell what you're getting before you buy a speaker. Because everyone has different things that they expect out of it. And some people talk about like, this sounds great and it's only $10. And other people are like, this is trash. It deserves to be less than $10. All right, so if collision is not equal to null, then we want to, why is it not moving at all though? Huh. GD print, yeah, collision with whatever, collision not collider. Does not contain get collider. Godot objects does not contain a definition for name. Whatever. Hey, cereal pie. Everyone told me those are great, but you hate yours. I've never even heard of this. German manufacturer of audio products. Huh, interesting. I like my speakers. I have, let me see if I can even find these. There's some like, I guess they're not no name. They're Amadeus speakers. Where's, I don't even know if I could find what I have. But I bought them for like $40 probably 15 years ago. And they're still working. I think speakers generally have a pretty long lifespan. Daily drivers for years, just get headphones. I don't like wearing headphones all the time. Then again, I probably do need to get better headphones, and I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to figure all this stuff out some other time. It's not super important. It's just the reason I turned off my sound was that feedback. So does this work? It should have a collision pretty much right off the bat. Doesn't look like it though. Like this character is moving into a wall. How is it not considered a collision? Character.get last slide collision. I have no idea. Yeah, weird. Why? Body can collide several times in a single call. You must specify the index in the range from 0 to get slide collision count -1. But this says that there just isn't one and that there never is. What if I just delete this? Oh, you know what? Actually, there was something kind of interesting about that. All right, let's try this. There can't be no collision, right? What is going on? Like it's touching walls, isn't it? What if I say increase game speed? Okay, there are collisions happening, but it's only with static bodies. It should be with the map itself. Also, these are like rarely happening. Yeah, right there. They look like they're colliding. Maybe they're not. This isn't the part that was supposed to be a challenge. Maybe this just rarely happens. Isn't the nav mesh designed to specifically not collide? It is, yes, but I am trying to make this move in a certain way. So I kind of drew this out here, but let me find an example that I could do here. Okay, so let's take this. So let's say you have a character here. Here's your character, and they want to get to here. So you can draw a triangle of how it's got to move there. And okay, I don't know how that got so mangled. And there is a y coordinate of that triangle and an x coordinate, or an x part of that triangle. I want the characters to move in cardinal directions. So it's going to pick the smaller axis, in this case, the y axis, and move down. So in this case, it'll work, right? It'll go down to this corner and then it'll move off to the right. But let's say this X were closer. Like, let's say instead of being there, let's say it was here. So now this triangle would be a smaller X coordinate than it would have a Y coordinate. And now it's going to try moving straight to the right at first. And it'll butt up against this wall. So the navigation is going to stop it from happening, but then my movement code is going to make it happen. Also, welcome it, Kanai. And hey, Krasner. And Shimigaki. Been following since 2016. Yeah, we've changed a lot of stuff since then. Then again, I was working at Google for like 3 years, so I also wasn't streaming for a while. But you probably were watching last during the Botland era. Botland is now a discontinued game. We're working on a game called Skeleseller. Yeah, so I'm not sure why we're not even getting collisions for this stuff, though. Maybe this is only with static bodies? No, I doubt it. Oh, boy. What do we do? What do we do? Botland brings back memories. Yeah, someone just asked pretty recently, like, hey, have you thought about hosting it again? And if it were like a totally free decision, like it takes me no time and it costs me no money, yeah, I'd probably leave it online. But there's a lot more to it. Also, there's the security concern of I'm allowing people to execute code in an environment that was probably not like super secure. So even if I could host it, I need to probably sandbox it somewhere. Yeah, I don't know what to do about this. I don't even know how to get into this situation repeatedly. We should probably, okay, here's what I'll do. Let's make it so that the adventurer doesn't have a state machine for a sec. So we'll just delete this. Then let's make it so that the characters follow the mouse, which is code I have right here. And that way we could just force this to happen, I think. Location equals entity dot get global mouse position. Except for it's not called location anymore, it's destination. Which I might as well change this so I don't mess that up in the future. All right, let's try that. Now they should always seek out the mouse position. Why wouldn't you go there? Okay, well, they're kind of working. I guess I just don't want them to leave the wander state. So time and state, just don't add to it. And then I guess put the state machine back in. Yeah, let's try that. Is it live? Yeah, this is live. I don't tend to read YouTube chat all that frequently. Yes, hello. Sorry, there's one person chatting on YouTube right now. And while I do welcome you to the stream, I don't tend to read YouTube chat as frequently. Okay, so now they're pursuing where the mouse is. So let's try that situation where they're here and I want them to move here. Why is that not breaking? Oh, because I got rid of cardinal movement. Oh my God. Oh, man. Right. Let's put cardinal movement back in. That's all of this code. And then I guess delete this thing. This is if it's less than this. And it's still got to be greater than 0. Yeah, there's a... This logic is going to be a little bit tough to do. And math.abs horizontal distance is greater than like 0.2 or something. I just want to see if collisions work here. Are they colliding? They're not colliding. What? Yeah, I know there's some little weird glitches here. Oh, I guess it's that glitch that's stopping it from moving. So we need to do a bunch of things. This is where I didn't want to do this stuff. All right, let's do float abs horizontal distance. And then same thing with vertical, and then replace these. Abs vert distance. Okay, so it's really got to be moving the shorter axis unless the shortest axis is 0. Yeah, I don't want to jitter when I get there. So we set the velocity, but actually the velocity, if the speed is greater, how's this gonna work? Does this automatically take delta into account? It must. But we have the delta here, so we can figure out the number of actual pixels moved and adjust this. Okay. Distance moved, distance to move, I guess, is speed times delta. Okay, so we move and slide. Now what I want to check is the remaining distance. No, I don't need to check the remaining distance. I need to check here if the speed needs to be lowered. Yeah, if abs hors distance is less than distance to move. We want to modify this to be, I guess we just multiply this actually. Let's try this. Character velocity times equal. So it's got to be a distance to move divided by the horizontal distance. And then the same thing would happen for the vertical distance. Okay, that might work. Let's try that. All right, that like super broke. Character just disappeared, I guess. And we're crashing everything. Collision with tile map. Oh, they can happen. Look at that. Invalid angle. Wonder how that even happened. I like Copilot. I think it's been great. Character velocity. Okay, maybe we'll just change this to be here. Distance to move. This isn't even correct though, is it? Oh man. This is how far we want to move. We need to divide by delta, I think. So your speed is 100 and the delta is 1/60th. Wait, is speed 100? Yeah, so it'd be like 1.7. How am I moving 2.5 pixels per? Huh. APX writes stuff for you that seems correct. You have to spend extra time validating that instead of just doing the thing. Yeah, but sometimes it writes things for you that are correct. And then you have to spend no time doing anything. You still need to validate it, yeah. I feel like I write code faster with it, but yeah, I've heard very mixed reviews from people. So delta is 1/60th, and we're multiplying that times 100. So we're moving at like 1.7 pixels per second. At least I think we should be. No, that doesn't make any sense. It's 1.7 pixels per frame. Yeah, which works out to 100 pixels per second. 100 pixels per second. Okay, so then that's a distance we're going to move. Now we need to divide by delta in order to get back to a speed. Yeah, and instead of times equal, we do this. All right, I think we're looking good here. Let's try this. Not quite. The character is never actually moving left. No, it does. So when it's the smaller axis and it gets stuck and it shouldn't get stuck. I guess it's got some very, very tiny fractional. So yeah, this needs to be like greater than 0.01. Let's probably just print out some of this stuff. In fact, we should probably only do this for the adventurer. Bool print stuff equals ECS has component, adventure component, entity. Okay, good. Yeah, that's when we want to print stuff. So if print stuff, then distance to move, the absolute horizontal distance. See, like this is a case where it just saved me time. It just wrote out exactly what I wanted here. I think that's it. Yeah. See how that works. Okay, so it gets into this case. Its horizontal distance is very large. Its vertical distance keeps switching between 0.6 and 2.3. Okay, yeah. Got it. And so why is it doing that? Because there's still some distance to move. When it's at 0.6 though, we should hit this, right? The vertical distance, 0.3 or whatever, is less than 1.7. So now set the velocity to, oh, horizontal distance, whoops. Vertical distance. I mean, that was my bad. That was not Copilot. All right, now we've got the right code and it's still broken, right? Yeah, it's the same problem here. Vertical distance is like 1, which is less than 1.7. So we set the velocity to distance to move divided by this. So what is this? gd.print set velocity to, or this is the y velocity, I guess. Yeah. I know I'm only printing it half the time. I'm not printing it for x, but that's okay. Just want to figure out what's going on here. Set y velocity to 100. That's not right. Oh, it's the actual distance remaining, not distance to move. Oh, whoops. Okay, so this should be abs horiz distance, and this should be abs vert distance. All right, let's try that now. I know this is probably painful. Hey, look, it's doing something a little bit better. It's still not perfect. Because it's setting the y velocity to 0 somehow. Oh, because I don't need the delta here anymore. Yes, got it. We're learning. We're learning things. We're gonna get this to work. It's gonna look great. All right, now what? Set y velocity. It just keeps getting lower and lower and lower. But what is going on? Yeah, it needs an if statement for the vertical distance to know this. Else if this, yeah. And this needs to be something, this is, the distance is actually in pixels. So I guess like 1 pixel, maybe half a pixel. But 100th of a pixel or 1,000th of a pixel is not a good idea. Are we looking better now? Yeah, better. Not perfect. Also, what? It's like, oh, never mind. I thought I was trying to path find somewhere else, but it's not. It's just that I have multiple paths connected. All right, so now what's it doing? It's in this case where the absolute vertical distance keeps lowering. Huh. Oh, right. There's got to be switching logic. Oh, man. Hey, Crace. It's going well. I'm feeling a lot more like normal than I did in the last week or two. Was I able to finish all those items? No, not quite. Although I made a lot of progress. So now we just have this stupid sucky thing. So we need to figure out how am I going to do this? We need to figure out what direction they should move in, and there needs to be code here that can switch it. Oh man. Yeah, it's the logic I had from a while ago where it's like we want to pick the shorter axis as long as the shorter axis is long enough. But it needs to move in one direction. So how do I do that? I can think of one way to do it. I just can't think of the best way. So I should just do it in the way that I can definitely think of how to do this. So it's I want to pick the lower one. If this is greater than 0.5 or vertical distance is less than 0.5. Okay, I think that might be right. And I think that's a maybe more elegant way than I was originally thinking of doing it. Not quite, right? We still run into this case where its vertical distance is next to nothing. It is less than 0.5. Oh no, this is or. Oh yeah, I put this in the wrong spot. Sorry, I know this is probably really hard to even understand what's going on here. Yeah. I think this is it. Oh. Isn't there a library to do this for you? I don't know. Okay. This is looking much better now. The problem is that it's waiting till it gets to like a half pixel before it actually moves around a corner. Yeah, and it takes time getting to that because of how I'm moving with this velocity here. I guess we could just change the float. What do we call this? Like, I'll just call it padding for right now. I need to change what this is, but we're gonna change all the 0.5s to just be padding. Yeah, so Godot has, like, it's doing this navigation, these red lines that you see, it's figuring those out for me. But then I'm trying to make it so the characters only move in cardinal directions. So that's the part I'm trying to do myself. Hey, Schwartz. And they're mostly working. They just struggle a little bit when they get close to a destination. And you know what I could probably do? I could probably just set this to the actual speed that they're moving at. And then maybe everything would work totally fine. I didn't think about that. No, that doesn't work. I think it needs to be something slightly less than speed, like 0.9. I'm just testing random things at this point. I should really like stop and think about this. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. All right, well, what's the problem with that? Horizontal distance is 9, vertical distance is 71. All right, let's take a picture of this. No, darn it. That's what I was trying to avoid. All right, horizontal distance was 9, vertical distance was 71. Horizontal distance is less than the vertical distance. Oh, speed is 100. Oh, right. No, that doesn't work. This needed to be speed times delta. Ah, we're getting there. Yeah, if it's like 1.6 or 1.7 pixels. Is this Mac OS? Yeah, this is. Hey, I think we got it. Are those characters ever going to make it up here? Yeah, that looks like they are. Wow. Yeah, I think it's working. Can they move around this? They can't get up there, I guess, because there is no path up there. And if I grant a bunch of items, I guess I can still path around this stuff. Did they ever get stuck on corners, though? Because I didn't do anything about that. I guess the navigation mesh does something about that. I mean, it looks like they're all moving fine. I haven't seen any get stuck. Although this is kind of a bad test because now they're all merging on top of each other. Actually, if I just let go, they'll find random positions, right? Yeah, they're all overlapping. The overlap is not something I plan on ever addressing. But they shouldn't all have... Oh, no, that one's stuck. Oh, darn it. I freed it. I didn't want to free it. I wanted to see exactly how it was stuck. I'm going to move them all back here just for this. Huh. Yeah, they can get stuck. Okay, this is... I got to take a picture of this. Yeah, it's exactly this case. And it's the thing that I described. So there should be a bunch of collision with map inside the... yep, there is. All right, now that's what we need to address. And then I think we're pretty much good. Oh. This has been a lot. So if there's a collision with the map, we just need to move in a different direction. Actually, if there's a collision with anything, we need to move in a different direction. So in this particular case, we tried moving, let's say, left, but we need to move down. Is unable to figure out how to get to the next node in the path. It's not that. It's okay. So this is probably the last time I'm going to explain this, but if you picture that, like, I am right here and I'm trying to get to this next target here, you can draw a triangle between these two, and then you can figure out what the X value you need to move and the Y value. So what the character's trying to do is it's trying to move left first because of the shorter distance, and then down, which is the longer distance. The problem is moving left pushes it up against this wall. You can see there's like the tiniest bit of overlap right there. So instead of moving left in this particular case, it should move down a tiny bit and then left and then down. And that's the problem, is we need to detect that there was a collision, which we've now done. And then we need to figure out which direction should it move instead, and then move in that direction. So in this case, in the case of a collision, we tried moving in a cardinal direction and butted up against the wall. In fact, actually, we could fix this by doing this. This is the easiest, cheapest way of doing this, which is what we say that we want this thing, but speed is going to be collision.remainder. Except for this is a length. Yes, something like that. Okay, let's try this out. Now I think they can't get stuck, but they're technically going to move diagonally around a wall a little bit. Although it's going to be imperceptible because of... I don't even know how we can engineer this situation so that it always happens. It's probably already doing this. Huh? I think a bunch of workers. I mean, I don't see them getting stuck. Oh, no, they can still get stuck. The remainder's length. The remainder should be the majority of this, right? Minus entity position. Oh, I forgot to do move and slide again. Whoops. Oh, hey, bums. Okay, so that should fix it. Ideally, I would have reconstructed this situation so that I could reliably hit it and then just make sure that my bug fix worked. And oh, you can see they're getting stuck, but they're like working their way around the corner. So I need to just make that a little bit better now. That's the beauty of moving. Like, come on, do it. Do it. Yeah, there. So they can unstick themselves, but it looks a little bit awkward. So they should do it in a better way. So yeah, I think we've made it so that if we were to just check this in, obviously that's not great, but they can free themselves. And it's hard to even get them in that situation. I don't know how that triggers. Maybe I've got to like, huh. Yeah, how do I get that to happen? Weird. The agent has a radius to consider while moving. I think that's configurable. That is configurable. And I could just increase that and probably work around this problem. But then I think we would end up in paths that we can't ever reach. So for example, we can't go above this crate, even though we technically should be able to. Like the characters, the characters can only get to the left, the right, and the bottom of this. And that's the problem with having a radius that's a little too large. I guess we could try. That's weird. Didn't I just close that? Why is it still running? Yeah, we could try increasing this. Right now it's set to 7. If we set it to 8 pixels, I wonder if it just makes everything impossible. No, that's working okay. Yeah, we can still get here. And I guess there are a few pixels of wiggle room right now. Yeah. Are these entirely controlled by AI in this game? Yes. Yes. So this is mostly just a laid back, very casual game. Does a player tell the characters what to do? No, not really. You control everything pretty much through this menu for right now. So if you see a button here, that's like what the player can choose to do. In the future, that might change a little bit. A lot of how I'm pursuing the development of this game is we've released checkpoint number 1. And if you wanted to check it out, you could. There's a link to it in here, but I don't suggest checking it out. And the reason I don't suggest checking it out is because right now, if you consider all of these lines to be like, I don't know, number of weeks or something, we're like, you are here. We're closer to checkpoint number 1 than we are to checkpoint number 2, but we're still on our way to checkpoint number 2. And then, of course, we have the other checkpoints here, checkpoint 3 and checkpoint 4. At any of these points, I'm going to solicit feedback from people, and they're going to say what they like or dislike about the game. And right now, there was a ton of feedback about checkpoint number 1 that was like, I don't know, there's hardly a game here. You know, there's a bunch of stuff I would expect that's not being done yet. And it's like, yeah, okay, that was 1 month of work. Might be worth disabling collision in general for AI agents so they don't bump into anything, but the A-star path will still be used for navigation. I could probably disable collision if this radius worked just fine. But the problem I ran into before is that without the collision, they would end up in non-walkable portions of the map. They got into here. And once they got into here, there was no navigation that would get them out. And so they just get stuck and it would cause a bunch of bugs. Is it what? Cereal pie? I don't know what you're... I'm trying to understand the correction here. If it's all deterministic. Is it I? Oh, oh my God. Oh. Is it intelligent if it's all deterministic? That is a very hard question to parse. Okay, yeah, so I think we have 2 different ways that we could potentially solve this. Yeah, one is with the radius being large enough. And if we set this to like 9 pixels, maybe they never run into these problems anymore. Although I'm not positive that's the case. Like maybe this works and maybe it doesn't, and maybe we'll just run into some issue down the line. Okay, so now, the problem with setting it to 9 is that they can't move between these crates anymore. And they even have a hard time pathfinding into, yeah, they can't even move into here, can they? Yeah, they can't. Because the crates are blocking them because of the radius that we have. So this can at most be 8 pixels. And we might run into some problem in the future where that can't even be 8 pixels. But this probably prevents them from colliding with the map. I just don't know for sure, and maybe at higher speeds they still could. Yeah. Very, very interesting. Okay, so wait, that means then if I were to set this to much lower, like 1 pixel, that they will always hit the walls, right? Yes. And that's how we can reliably test that thing I wanted to do. Because it shouldn't really matter about the navigation. Okay, in a case like this, yeah, they're pretty much just going to be stuck. All right, that's for after the break, I think. So where I left off, if I set the agent radius, is that what it's called? Yeah, to 8 pixels, everything probably just works perfectly. I can repro the problem that I was trying to solve by setting it to 1 pixel. That's a case I should probably still figure out. Oh no, Darkstorm got sick. Take lots and lots and lots of rest. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you get better. All right, today is going a lot better than the other days. And yeah, I think we have a repro now for this. And I think solving this is going to be some kind of obnoxious code. But if I take all morning and I figure this out, then great. And then we can just do all these other random tasks today. And then I want to do some fun stuff at some point. It probably won't happen today, but I want to make a new character class. And I think that'll be fun to do. But yeah, let's take a break for right now. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Hey everybody, close the game. Man, I feel bad because this person who asked am I live is probably gone. And it's just because I took too long to respond, but I am live. Oh well. I just need to pay more attention to YouTube chat. So yeah, the way that we would fix this was kind of a hack, and this is not the proper way of doing things. We need to know the two components that you need to move in, the two directions. So for example, left and down. And if we tried left, then we need to try the other component. So I guess let's just store this stuff up here. Like I said, this is going to be kind of ugly code. Moved horizontally, or like tried moving horizontally. So in this case, we tried moving horizontally, and in this case, we didn't. And if we tried moving horizontally, then we're going to try moving vertically. Otherwise, we're going to try moving horizontally. And in this case, we got to do this logic of like figure out what our velocity should be. Oh boy. Okay, fine. Let's just write this here. Let's go make a new function for this. This should be abstracted into figure out your velocity from what we have here. This is like figure out horizontal velocity. All right, we're gonna try abstracting this into a function. Private void foo, because I don't know what I'm even gonna name this yet. Yeah, I could make a vector extension. I'm just trying to get the code to work and not worrying about the cleanliness of that code just yet. Because I'm not sure how I want to do this just yet. So this is something that is going to involve a vector too. So let's, I guess, set that here, vector 2. And what do we need? We need the distance, float distance. What else? The speed, I guess. So yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so now we say vector 2 velocity equals this. So horizontal distance is going to be replaced with just distance. And then the absolute distance is going to be there. This is going to be here. This is going to be there. Cool. Okay. What is distance to move? Oh, darn it. That's speed times delta. Drat. Double delta. Okay, so that's here. Good. Okay, so what do we call this now? It's like figure out exactly how far to move in a certain direction. Calculate velocity in cardinal direction. Oh, hey. Clayman, thanks for the raid. Clayman, I don't even know you streamed, did I? Welcome in, everybody. I had turned off my... hang on, let me take a look at this. Is this already muted? I had turned off my sound. Physics-based Souls-like / roguelite. I am pretty sure. Yeah, wow. Well, anyway, thanks. That's really cool. I'll have to raid you back sometime. I'll follow you, but that'll make me think that I've raided you already. Anyway, welcome in, everybody. I'm working on a game called Skeleseller. And this game, how do I show you this? I'm in the process of breaking everything. I guess let's just cut this out for right now. All right, yeah. So this will kind of work. Not really. I'm trying to fix a bug right now, and I've got it set to reproduce the bug. So in this game, you run a town, and you have adventurers like this one here, and then there are customers who have money, and yeah, the navigation is like thoroughly broken here. You get items by winning battles, and then those items go into your town, and your characters will pick them up and restock your shops, and customers will go and buy those items. And then as you battle, you get more items. So that's the general gameplay loop. It's really hard to show this off right now while this is in a buggy state, but that's what I'm working on. Clayman is a super streamer. Super streamer. I really want to check it out. Yeah, Clayman's been around for ages in this stream. And it's always cool to see when someone goes and streams for themselves too, and you're making a game. So I'd like to check it out. But yeah, welcome to everybody. Thanks for the raid. If you have any questions, let me know. What we are working on right now is you can see these red lines connecting a character from where they are to where they're going. And it's just wherever my mouse is pointing at the time. And they will pathfind. And what I wanted to do is when they get to a corner, they do this thing where they like kind of dance a little bit around the corner and get stuck. And that's what I'm trying to address right now. So I think this shouldn't be too bad. And there's another way I can like try to bypass the problem entirely. I just haven't gotten there yet. So now what we can do is we can say character dot velocity equals, what is it? Calculate velocity in cardinal direction with these things. And then delete this. Do the same thing here, except for with a vertical distance. Delete this. And then do the same thing down here. So if you tried moving horizontally, then we need to try moving vertically. So this is going to be vertical distance. And if you tried moving vertically, then you try moving horizontally. Okay. Now we delete this. And I think we're good. Oh wait, no, this is slightly broken because we need only the remainder. This is going to be like float remainder speed. Yeah, because you might have moved and then gotten stuck in a wall. Let's try that out. Got to run for view. Yeah, take care, Fresh Meat. How am I finding Godot? I like Godot. I think it's pretty nice. I think there are some things that are a little annoying or hard to work with. What are you making your game in? This obviously didn't work. Are they even colliding with a wall? They might be. This is remainder speed and delta. What is delta doing here? Delta is a distance to move. Something's wrong. Still using Unity. Okay. Yeah, Unity generated a lot of bad will with the game dev community in the last year or so. And I think I was already on the Godot train before that bad will, but it just made me think, ooh, this is more of a reason to be on the Godot train. But hey, if your tooling works for you and you don't have a problem with the payments or anything like that, then by all means go for it. I think Unity is a much more mature product. Project too far to rewrite. Yeah, that's another problem, which is if you've been working on something for, let's say, 6 months or 12 months, changing is not like, well, I'll just take a weekend and fix things up. It's like, well, I'll go learn a new game engine, have to convert a bunch of code, not even realize there are bugs until way in the future. And yeah. This is not gonna work. I'm not totally sure why. It's 2 years in when this nonsense happened. Well, are you bothered by the nonsense? Because they tried walking back some of those decisions, right? Okay, what is going on here? Distance to move is 1.6. The horizontal distance is very, very low. And it should be causing a collision such that then we should try moving upward. I don't know why that's not happening. I guess let's print out over here. If print collision detected, tried moving horizontally. Let's try that out. Unfortunately, it's something I can control. Yeah, the reason I ask is because I don't fully remember even what the payment structure was, but I think it was something like they had some per install fee, and I think they walked that back. And I think Unity is generally probably fine for payments until you hit a certain threshold. I don't remember if it's $100,000 or $1 million or whatever. Anyway, most games don't make it to that level. And when they do, you're probably okay with spending a little bit of money on your platform because it did help you get to that point. But yeah, I'm not sure what it was. Maybe it is more restrictive or sooner. All right, so when it hits the wall, it should print something out now. Yeah, tried moving horizontally is false. That's wrong. Tried moving horizontally should be true. Horizontal distance is less. Then move horizontally, yeah. Why is that happening though? In this case, it should be trying to move horizontally, but it should want to move vertically afterward. But it just keeps printing false. Huh. Let me take a look at this one more time. Something is very wrong. The horizontal distance just kept lowering and lowering, but it wasn't actually moving. What? Can I clear this? How do you clear the console? Hey again, DT. Welcome back. I know there's a way to clear this console. I don't know how. I thought it was not that button. Clear output. It's the paintbrush? Yeah, that doesn't really make any sense. All right, so absolute horizontal distance is low, but it's not high enough. So we're trying to move vertically, but I guess we're stuck in a wall. But it should be move and slide. Yeah, I wonder why I can't move in this case. Huh. Well, I broke a bunch of things. Hey, 3D extended. More about breaking the trust, and trust is important. Yeah, I agree. And at the very least, the company kind of agreed to, and now there's a new CEO or CFO or whatever, right? Yeah. Take care, Clayman, and thanks for dropping by. Thanks for rating. I am very excited to get to checkpoint number 2 here and see what people think with all these new systems and things in place. All right, so like I said, I'm pretty sure I just broke this. Let's select everything, and now let's Command Z until we get back to what the code used to be, which is this. And now let's compare this to the new stuff. Hey, Jordy. So this is, how do I have so many splits going on here? Here we go. Character dot velocity equals new vector 2 math dot sign the distance. Distance needs to just be the horizontal distance it's passed in. Yeah, it is. And then speed and delta. Math dot sign. Oh, this is the problem. Oh my God. Oh, I need to know whether this is vertical or horizontal so I can put them in the right component. Drat. Okay, well, at least I figured out the problem. All right, so bool is horizontal movement. Something like that. Now I paste this in here. This is true. This is false. And then this is false and true. Then, this is really stupid. All right, so this is going to be like speed to use. If this is true, then use this. Otherwise, use the other one. Good. Then delete this. Move this down here. This becomes speed to use. Then we do one other thing here. We say if is horizontal movement. Hey, that should work. Okay, this is a mess, a giant mess. But I want to make sure it's at least the logic that I want it to be. Then we can sort out the mess in a bit. Okay, this is the case that I hadn't considered. Yeah, I don't think we solve this problem this way. It's when we're here Like I'm here and I want to move here. Tried moving horizontally is true, but the vertical distance is so tiny that it can't move upward. Or it's probably moving upward, but it's moving upward so slowly. So maybe in this case, we shouldn't use remainder speed. What if we just use regular speed? I think that would fix this, but it would overshoot the corner now. All right, let's try that same scenario here. Yeah, looks like it works. Nope. It looked like it worked. But now it gets to here. And its vertical distance is just lowering. What is going on with that? Remainder speed equals speed. Just try moving up. Why is it moving so slowly then? Vertical distance. Oh, because of this code. This code is deleting any speed that I would have had. Oh. Ooh. Absolute distance is less than the distance to move. Distance to the target. Oh man. I don't know. I don't know the best way to do this. We could just say character dot velocity equals new vector 2. I'm gonna try something here, just as kind of a hacky thing. Character dot velocity dot x. This is tried moving vertically, so 0, I guess, and then we say math dot sign character dot velocity dot y times times speed. Yeah. All right, and then this is x times speed. Yeah. Oh, this is a mess. This is a mess. Does it work though? Yes, it looks like it works. All right, looking good. Yeah, so now nothing should be able to get them stuck. And I just need to fix this nightmare of a function that I wrote. Oh, so good. And now they can make it to any little crevice up here. Oh, wait, no. No, why are you jittering? I know why they're jittering. Oh, man. Yeah. They're jittering because that I need the speed to be set like exactly. And it's not set exactly. Like it rarely happens. Oh man. Well, this is a constructed problem, I think, at this point. We don't even need this remainder speed to be set to anything. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, so the way we would fix this is by setting this radius higher. And if it's set to 8 pixels, we should just never have a problem. But then I guess we can't get to the top of these crates, not that that matters. Eventually a bunch of customers will appear. Yep, there's everybody. Yeah. I don't see them getting stuck on corners. They shouldn't even be colliding with corners. I mean, it looks like it's working. So this is probably good enough. Because even if something is broken, I don't see anything so obvious. Like they're not getting stuck on corners. They're not just stopping in one spot. I guess what we could do is we can cut out the mouse stuff that we have here and then go back to the wander state and set this back to what it was. And what that'll do is it'll now make it so that all the characters are acting like how they should be acting. So that when I add in multiple things and grant items, that they all actually move to where they're supposed to move. And if they can do this well enough, then I guess that's pretty much the test. Yeah. We probably need more customers. Yeah, once those customers buy stuff. Okay, I think this looks good. If I accept a quest right now, now they should all drop off their items over here. Yeah, nice. All right, I don't see anything unusual happening. That was a little strange up there, but there are some characters that are moving in kind of weird ways. But yeah, why are they doing that? I guess because when they get to their destination, they start jittering. There's probably got to be some like you're close enough to your destination. Yeah. I should probably do that in this. Max distance are allowed away from the ideal path. Distance before a path is considered to be reached. And distance before target is considered to be reached. We should maybe set these things to like 8 pixels and 5 pixels. That might stop some of the jittering. Yeah, it's pretty hard to tell. Now they're jittering because the game speed has been increased to the point where they're overshooting their destinations. That wasn't really real jittering. Yeah, some of these characters are just wandering around because they don't actually have items to go pick up. Well, I'm a little torn because this code that I added here is not totally correct. And that it can cause jittering on its own. And I should probably do something about that. But like I said, I think it's kind of a constructed problem. Like, does this actually exist in the game? Because if I do this, then they can get stuck on corners again, right? Oh, wait, they're not moving to my mouse anymore. I want to feel good enough about this code that I'm writing. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so this is how they can get stuck on corners. And it's jittering up and down because... Wait, why is it jittering up and down? Its vertical distance is infinitesimal. Should be offshooting that. What is going on there? Vertical distance becomes... Oh, I see. I see. Yeah. It's exactly this code. I need to figure out a way to get it to move just as much as is needed. And I'm just not sure why it doesn't work properly with this line right here. If the distance that we need to move is less than the amount that we're going to move, then only move the remaining amount. I don't know why that's not correct. Line distance. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't see a problem here. Like I'm doing this thing where I'm overriding the velocity that's used here. Because if I don't do this, then they just very, very slowly move in the correct direction. And yeah, I don't know why that is. Like they should move exactly as much as is needed. And I'm messing something up. So vertical distance is not actually decreasing. Oh, maybe it's floating point rounding error. Oh. How would I do something about that though? I don't actually know. Tried moving to the right. Ended up moving up. But moving up didn't actually move it at all. The remainder speed should have been high enough. But the distance is so small. Maybe what we do is we just say speed to use equals math.min or math.max of like at least move 1/10 of a pixel. Yeah. Cannot implicitly convert. Is there a max f? Oh, there we go. Because I think this is only for these cases where we're like right at the edge of a corner here. What happened there? Oh my God. Its horizontal distance is 0.001 and it tried moving vertically. Hey, Tyrion. And we're bouncing between two very, very tiny numbers. Huh. Speed is normally 100, right? Yeah. Oh, I see. I see. So it's 0.1 times 1 divided by 60. Yeah. Which is this really tiny value. I guess I want that to be something higher than that because this is how many pixels per frame it moves. So if we wanted to move 0.1 pixels, we need to multiply that by 60. So 6, I guess, is the minimum. Hey, unknown. I mean, even that, this is all just me kind of guessing that this is going to work, and it obviously did not. Now what's happening? It's not moving by 1/10 of a pixel. Also, these distances are always, oh, they're absolute. We're probably jittering around it then. Move up. Needs to move up by enough. Man. Yeah, I think we just work around the problem. Because I'm finding it hard to articulate exactly what I even need to do here. Like the problem here is that we need this character to move up around the corner, but they're not moving up enough to dislodge themselves. And then they immediately move back down because they went above where that first red square is, the red square to the left of the wall. I can't point at it or else the character will actually move. And yeah, in this case, it's just that the distance we're trying to move is wrong. Why though? I wonder if we just... would change this? If we have to move, let's say 1,000 pixels. Oh, but we want to move this much in one frame, right? Maybe what this should have been is like this divided by delta. I mean, I'd be pretty surprised if that actually worked, but yeah, let's try it. In fact, I guess that's what I was kind of trying to do originally here. Nope, that did not work. Hey, Snoopy. The absolute vertical distance now is 0, which means I think I actually did accomplish what I was trying to do. So what is the problem here? It's a problem with all of these things. It's like these want to move left, and they're exactly where they should be. Oh, I think I did fix this, and I think we need to now address this with the other solution that I have. Okay, yeah. I'm moderately happy with this. So let's set this to like 5 pixels. I think that should prevent this from happening. And should also allow these characters to now move. Wait, are they getting stuck? Kind of. Like that character looks like it's stuck. Yeah, all of those characters look like they're stuck. What are they doing? What are they doing? Oh man. I only set this to 5 and I should have said to 8, but I still want to find out why this is happening. Check out Delicious in Dungeon. I told my wife about it and we ended up watching an episode of Mr. and Mrs. Smith instead, which I did not like. So then my wife watched the entire rest of that show and we haven't gotten back to whether we should watch Delicious in Dungeon. What is going on right now? Are they even picking? What is going on? I don't even remember. Oh no, I don't have mouse-based movement anymore. Oh boy. Well, once I'm past all of this stuff, I'm going to feel so good about this that I just have a solution and it works and I'll never want to touch this again. Okay, so let's find out why they're getting stuck on this crate. Yeah, there's a Mr. and Mrs. Smith show, but man, the first episode is just so bad. It's like 30 minutes of nothing happening and characters having like intentionally stilted conversations for the sake of the plot. It's like, what is the, I asked my wife, I'm like, why are you watching this? And she's like, because I heard good things about the show. And I'm like, yeah, but this episode itself is not good, right? And she said, no. I I don't think it actually gets much better, apparently, at least not according to IMDb ratings. The first episode is a 7.4 and the show itself is a 7. I can't get this to get stuck. Hey, and Buff Siegel. Yeah, Unknown recommended that I watch Delicious in Dungeon, and I do want to watch it. I just need to wait until my wife is also free. I'm not sure where they're trying to go. Okay, so here you can get them sort of reliably stuck. But what are they doing? They're trying to go around this? Huh. Man, this is so difficult. All right, let's delete. Let's just not ever add any customers. Let's also not make a worker. Where is the first worker? Yeah. Planning on getting a tattoo of it in the near future. Wow. Yeah. Looks like their head is getting stuck in the box. So their collision point is like, it's probably really hard to see. Let me take a picture. Their collision point is just that. It's like the pixel of their eye. That's it. Just that one tiny spot. And somehow that's enough to get this thing like stuck over here. Yeah, there we go. So what's happening when that happens? Distance to move 1.7. Horizontal distance is huge. It's trying to move up, but it can't. And then it slides the remainder of its energy along that way. What if we just never use the remainder? Because we're moving cardinally, and if there's a collision, that means it pretty much always has to be negating its entire movement. So yeah, what if we just set this to speed? Technically, it means they can move faster in collision cases. Hey, Hagerman-Hour. Just move all obstacles out of their way. Why didn't I think of that? All right, let's see. Is it still happening? I think that fixed it. Yeah, they're not getting stuck anymore. But what's weird about this is it would imply that there is some amount of its speed that it's oh, and then it's probably jittering, maybe. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna just write this down. So we're just gonna use speed here. Note, technically, I'll say it may seem like we should use, what was that thing called? What is that thing called? Collision dot get remaining speed. Yeah, this. Instead of speed. But because a collision usually means that we wasted a bunch of our velocity, using just the remainder seems to stick us on walls for longer. Oh boy. All right, let's delete that and that and that. And actually, the comment was probably nice. All right, did we do it? I'm going to put everything back to normal, I think. There and there. Actually, wait a sec. I wanted to figure out, is there a way that we could set this radius large enough that we don't have problems, but also so that these characters could walk up here somehow? And uh-oh. No, what are you doing? No, you're not allowed to get stuck. Oh no. I mean, I set this to 7. At 8, is there still a problem? This is just never gonna end, is it? This is just gonna be the rest of my month. Be working on pathfinding stuff. Yeah, they can still get stuck. Huh. That should have been negated. And they're all somehow ending up there. Oh man. Have I replaced it with the today Google Doc and GitHub tasks? Yeah, pretty much. Although now the today doc is getting out of hand because these tasks just keep collecting them. So yeah, there's no stopping this problem, is there? And they're all just gonna eventually get stuck here sooner or later. All right, so in this case, we can see tried moving horizontally is true because the vertical distance is 0. So it's exactly aligned with where it wants to be. Huh. What do we do about that? Okay, let's take a look at something. Stop this thing. Add a navigation agent. This thing. Does this have... Oh, wait. I think I know what's going on. Oh. I think this is these things hurting me. I think I need to set these lower. If the desired distances are too high, then it's possible that characters can get stuck on corners because they think they're already where they need to be. Oh boy, does that even fix this? I think there's going to be this constant tug of war where anytime there's a navigation problem, yeah, this is still happening. Anytime there's a navigation problem, I'm just going to have to dig in all of this and relearn it all. Like, I'm guessing in this case, well, it's one of these characters. I should only have one of these print out, which means I should not get more adventurers. Grant most things. There. This is rough. This is really, really rough. All right, so now we just wait for this character to get stuck, which I guess is bound to happen eventually. It's going to take its sweet time not getting stuck. Meanwhile, I bet everything else is somehow going to get stuck on something. Character's right there so far. Let's turn off all these other things. Debug enabled. I only want this to be true for the adventurer. How do we change that? I guess we go into, what do I do? I guess I set this to false here, and I go into the adventurer component, and where I add the navigation component, I say get component navigation component. This dot debug enabled equals true. Okay, so now we'll only have, I don't care about possibly null anything. Now we'll only have the path show on the adventurer. Yeah. This is A star under the hood, yeah. What's kind of interesting about nav meshes, because, oh, there, it just happened. Okay, so why? I can't select that. But yeah, this is the issue. Yeah, this is the problem. We think that we're at the destination Y coordinate, so it doesn't know to move down or up to try to fix this. And actually, maybe this is where making a larger collision box might help. I'm not actually sure. Because I was going to say move and slide doesn't know what it can do right now. I guess if it's never trying to move up or down, it wouldn't actually do anything. Hey, Codex. Nice, Yeller. Just put when they're stuck, get a small knockback so they get unstuck. Yeah, but that would cause like a rumble effect almost, where they just randomly kind of jitter, and it wouldn't be obvious why. How are they getting stuck less? No, I guess I only changed the adventurer. No, and the adventurer did just get stuck, and it's gonna be the same problem, isn't it? Where it thinks that it's exactly where it needs to be in the X coordinate. Oh man, I don't know. Really, really challenging problem. Oh, you can change that on the fly and it's gonna just work. What is going on now? I don't know. What if we set this to 1.7? Also, did I ever make it so that pressing F5 here runs this? I didn't. I want to figure out how to do that. Can we change? That's not a thing. Where am I trying to go? Editor settings. Shortcuts. How do you run the game? Run, play. scene. Run current scene. Command R. Where's the... There's, what is this called? This thing up at the top. Run project. Oh, that's what I want. Command B. I know there's a shortcut for that. Well, I kind of want it to just be F5. There. Yeah, there. Ooh, I don't know why it took me that long to finally set something for that. Who knows if this is even working? It takes them so long to get stuck. Nope, it's definitely not working. What do we do in this case? Yeah, no. One of those problems that you feel great for 20 seconds after you solve. I don't know, though. Like I said, I think this is just going to be a lingering landmine the entire time. Like, okay, I think I fixed this. Let's say I get past this. It takes another 2 hours or something. Then in the future, if I ever see a character get stuck, I'm just going to say, oh, God. And then have to dig into all of these details again. Like, what is going on here? It gets to a point where it doesn't know how to move anymore. And it's stuck here. And it's trying to get down to there. So even if, oh, it's already at the X coordinate it needs to be at, though. I guess that's what's going on here. Yeah, this is what, perfectly aligned with this? It must be. I don't know how it's rendering, and I don't know where the character's 0, 0 position is. Yeah, I don't know how to fix this. Gets close enough to the destination, then gets stuck. So the problem is I wanted all the characters to move in cardinal directions. So when the character is at this point, if it were to just move diagonally down to this point, everything would probably be fine. But instead, it moves in cardinal directions, and it moves in the shortest cardinal direction at first. So it moves to the right. And then when it tries moving down, it can't because there's a barrier. So that's the problem here. Like I said, if we had it move diagonally, it should just be fine. And yeah, I guess this problem could always happen because let's open up GIMP for a second here, and I'll draw out a situation where I just need to figure out a solution for this. Okay, so we're going to say that the agent is here and the destination, write this stuff out, A equals agent. Yeah, A equals agent, D equals destination, and O equals obstacle. All right, so you are here. Your destination is here. What is going on? There we go. Your destination is here, and there's an obstacle here. So your character is going to try moving like this, and then like this. And it's going to hit a problem when it gets to this. And yeah, the reason there's no fixing this once we're in that case is because we need to know to move around that. I think the navigation would need to know that we can only move in cardinal directions. Yeah, if the navigation doesn't know that, then it can always put us in this position. Let's just try something really fast here. Let's set this back to 3. This doesn't matter. And then let's set the navigation system so that it just always moves us in a diagonal. So we basically delete all of this code. Oh, man. All right, fine. Let's try it out. Wait, what's this doing here? Oh, okay, I guess I already have that written. So then we can just do this and then just say if what's always true. If character dot name is not equal to does not exist, then just return there. That way it doesn't complain to me that this is unreachable code down below. So now they're going to move diagonally, but now I don't think they can ever get stuck on things. Let's add a bunch of customers too. I wonder if you can tweak the navigation agent to move in cardinal directions. Because if you could, that would stop this problem. Yeah, I don't see anything getting stuck. Oh, Balrog. How's it going, Balrog? Fall back to a non-A-star solution as a circuit breaker of sorts. You can rate cast your way around it as a workaround. A lot of code, though, and easier to not move in cardinal direction, but I guess you had a good reason to want to do that. The reason to move them in cardinal directions was that that's what we have animations for, is them moving either up, left, down, or right. I can't believe I didn't think about this problem, though, until just now. Like, it's so clear to me now that the navigation system needs to know the same rules of the player movement. Yeah, I don't see anything getting stuck. I don't know if anyone else sees someone getting stuck here. I guess it'd be pretty obvious because you just see a character that's not moving. Getting rehab for your neck issues. Neck issues, what happened? Sometimes it looks like they're floating. Yeah. I guess another way we could maybe do this is we just figure out what is the next tile in the path that they have to go to, and then cardinally move them there. That might still result in a lot of like diagonal movement. This looks good though. I don't know. I like look over here where they're just moving like diagonally because there's empty space. In fact, I guess you'd get the same effect if we just added a bunch of customers and workers. There. Okay. Yeah. So in this empty space where they just wander around, I think they look sort of silly. I mean, the customers kind of ignore those, I guess, because they don't have graphics that make them move in a certain direction, but like the skeleton does. Neck issue number 1, I slept and woke up. Oh, man. Okay, hit sideways by another car. Ooh. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Do you have any nervousness around driving now? I think the rehab is definitely a good idea, though. Oh, boy. Gravity. Am I right? Why can't we just have anti-grav spines? Reformulate. Thanks for resubbing. You're at 1 year now. Happy sub birthday. Also, any nervousness about sleeping? Yeah, I don't see anything getting stuck. I think that's the real problem from all of this that I was doing. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Well, I don't think I can use a nav mesh to solve this, could I? Because all we do is we call get next path position somewhere. Where does it even happen? Yeah, this, get next path position. What we would need to do is constrain how it finds paths. And I don't think we can do that. Every time I go to that intersection, I get nervous. It's so strange. Yeah. Yeah, desire paths. I'm familiar. I'm just trying to think about this. I think we need to write our own pathfinding to do this. And I just, all right, take care, Balrog. I hope your neck gets better. Yeah, I just think this is not a big enough payoff for me to work on this. Was there even a solution using cardinal paths in that edge case? You mean this thing I drew out in GIMP? Because the problem here, I guess what I should do is I should take a picture of the game. Or maybe just in the town scene. Yeah, let's do a few things here. Show grid. What are these things? Show when snapping. There we go. Yeah. So there's a barrier. Let's just maybe put in a bunch of temp stuff here. That didn't do what I wanted to do. Okay, so let's say there's a character here. Actually, we could just draw them in empty space. Okay, so there's a character here. We need an obstacle. I guess let's just draw one using the tile map. Put some rocks here. How do I need to do this? I need to do this like this. Wait, how do I do this? Okay, and then I put their destination. What could we use to represent the destination? A bunch of flowers. Sure. Okay, so this is an example of the problem that we have. I'm going to paste this into GIMP. Yeah, so the character wants to go to the flowers at the bottom, but because of the cardinal movement, it tries moving right first and then down. This is because the navigation system isn't aware of the cardinal movement. I mean, I guess this should just be up at the top, right? Okay, now we draw in some arrows. Well, the this is because part isn't actually totally accurate, huh? It then gets stuck on the rocks. The navigation system would have to be aware of the cardinal movement for this problem to be avoided. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, to answer your question, so once you are here, like let's say the character's right here above the rocks, I think maybe if we generated another path, it could fix itself. Does having such idea boards help you develop the game? Idea boards, do you mean what I'm drawing out here? Because this is so that I can document a problem that we have, which I think is going to be very, very tough to eventually solve. Yeah, no, I don't typically do this sort of thing. But in this case, it helps because it is a very visual problem. It's like, imagine writing this out in text. When a character has a shorter path to move horizontally than vertically because the destination is down and to the right or something, like it'd be a mess. Is there a way to validate cardinal path and adjust until one is found before performing the route? So the problem here is I'm relying on Godot for the navigation and I'm relying on myself for the movement. And the navigation doesn't know about the movement, so I can run into a case like this. What what Godot is generating, by the way, is a path that just, whoops, a path that looks like this. And that path works. If I just move diagonally, this works. Also, if I were to, there's one other thing I could do here, which is kind of weird. This is going to be a little bit hard to do, I think. How do I show this? If we just always move in the larger distance, then I think this would work. Yeah, so we do something like this. So if the distance is greater, and then delete this stuff, then move in the horizontal thing first. Otherwise, move in the vertical distance. Then we put this code in here. So the problem with this is that it's going to look stupid, probably even dumber than just moving diagonally. Now let's delete these things. Yeah, because what's going to happen is it's going to like jitter along a diagonal. It's going to move like down, right, down, right, down, right, down, right, down, right. And in this case, it just did nothing. What did I mess up here? If the horizontal distance is greater than the vertical one, then move horizontally. Oh, I never called move and slide. Yeah. Yeah, so this is what would happen if we always moved in the larger dimension first. Yeah, that looks even worse. It does look pretty funny. Like they're climbing a really tiny staircase. Oh, and they still managed to get stuck? Seriously? Oh, but that's because the same problem is going to exist. It doesn't know about the cardinal movement. But if I tried moving diagonally, it would work. Yeah, so this is bad code. We don't want this here. Makes you glad you did your own A-star? Yeah, I don't know how... I don't know how customizable it would be to change the paths in Godot itself. I think what we could do instead is we could... Oh, there's still going to be an angle that you try moving at where you jitter. But I guess it's going to be like an exactly 45-degree angle. And we could just make it so that you can't jitter that frequently. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. We might be able to just use the nav mesh that Godot has. Like, we could probably get access to that and then write our own logic. But I just don't see this being worth it. I think the major win here is that characters only walk in actual space and not in this like gray area. So yeah, there's no possible, well, there is a possible way, I guess, when they get created at first because they come out of this portal. But that portal is eventually going to move into the world and then it'll be fine. Punishes diagonal movement more than sideways. I don't think you can just plug that in though, because I think that function would have to run on the native side of things. So you'd be passing in some like non-native lambda that it would have to call. I just don't think they allow you to do that. Why'd you decide to use a nav mesh instead of the A-star algorithm? The reason why, and this is now a little bit hazy because it was last week, but we have these item displays that pop up, and when you get more item displays, it rebakes the nav mesh so that it can still figure out how to walk around these. With A-star itself, I'd have to make it aware of all of these different nodes, and they wouldn't be aligned to tiles necessarily. So imagine if all of a sudden there was some like giant turtle right here. Like with a nav mesh, we could just say, okay, this circle, not walkable anymore. And everything would just kind of work. But with A-star, we need to, like, it's just connecting a bunch of graphs. And we need to say that that turtle takes up like, I guess, full tiles pretty much. Or split how we do tiles. There's an A-star 2D grid class. Yeah, but then all my collision needs to be on tile-based collisions. Like these item displays, they might actually be on individual tiles. I don't fully recall, but they also might just be offset. And like that one is not on a specific tile, I think. Did you check online if there's a solution? No, because I only just, as of the last like 10 minutes, realized that this was even the problem. I kept thinking it was how I was using all this navigation stuff. But I don't think this is really worth adjusting. Like, I don't think this looks great. I don't like how characters are moving diagonally. But if it takes another week to solve this problem, I feel like there's much more important stuff we can do at first. Also, the no guarantee of a grid thing, we could eventually change. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this on GitHub somewhere. Let's trim this down. I want just this. Okay, I'm going to paste this and write a whole bunch of stuff. Skeleseller. Collision and pathing. Okay, I'm going to forget this was even here. How's pathfinding going? Well, we encountered a major problem. All right, so I'm going to say update, adding this little write-up to the top of this issue so that I can find it in the future. There's a major problem with getting cardinal only movement to work. And it's that the navigation system is not aware that we only allow cardinal movement. So we can end up in this situation. And that should be the picture that we had. Where'd the text go? Oh my God. I guess we need to merge this down and then copy paste it. There we go. Okay, so what was I going to write? Oh yeah, the reason I used a nav mesh in the first place is just so that, what do I say? Like collidable entities. Is that a thing? Collidable entities. No, it's not. Didn't need to be aligned to a grid, and we can't just move in the longer axis for cardinal movement because we'd still hit the same problem, and also because it would look really weird to see a character changing direction every frame when moving at a 45-degree angle. Thanks, Ned. Yeah, I think we're just going to leave this as is, clean up the code, and then move on to some other problem. Oh yeah, I should write down what I think about this. So we would need the pathfinding to be aware of any movement constraints, which I think would involve writing something custom. Perhaps we could switch to a star and penalize diagonal movement, but then still follow whatever path the navigation spits out. So if it involves diagonal movement, then so be it. Yeah. Maybe we should really limit the position to integer vectors so the path will just snap the tiles. It's not an integer vector problem, to be clear. It's this issue where your destination is farther down than it is to the side, but to the side of you is an obstacle. So even if we only snapped everything to tile positions, for example, that wouldn't necessarily matter. We need the navigation system. Whatever's doing pathfinding needs to know that we only plan on moving in cardinal directions. Because if it knew that, because what Godot is doing is it's planning this path, which is a diagonal. So it could instead plan this path, or it could plan something like this, and then this, and then this. So it could do that. I just don't think it's worth spending the time on this now. And I also, there were two major things we were trying to fix. Problems were characters could walk anywhere, and characters could move diagonally. So we fixed this one, and this is still a big win. The cardinal movement is going to be a lot harder. Oh no. What are you doing? You ignoramus. You're not supposed to do that. How is it even happening? God. How is that happening? And how did it not generate a new random position to go to? No idea. Oh boy. Does he want to go to the other side of that crate? I don't know. And I don't know why it's not generating a new random position. Yeah, weird. I don't know what's going on there. All right, well, I guess we would delete all of this code. Although a lot of this code is code I liked and kind of want to keep. So this is the code we have. And somehow this caused a character to still get stuck. I just don't know how that's possible. Yeah, I don't know how that's possible. Let's run this again. Customers may be 24 pixels, but you can see that their collision area is just like the tiniest square on their body. It's better to show it here, I guess. If I hide their picture, that's their collision box. It's like their eyeball. So it's maybe 4 pixels. I wonder if we're going to see it happen again. It was caused by just random movement. While waiting for this to happen. What does that do? This is set to 8 pixels. Yeah, everything should be set such that I thought it'd be impossible for them to get stuck. And so far, nothing's gotten stuck, but it was just that one. Couldn't you increase the collider size and Godot would sort out the collision issue you have? So there are two things going on here. There's navigation, which does not take collision into account. So this red path that you see is formed based on just like a very tiny single point. And then for my characters to follow this path, yes, they have a collider. And I tried making that as small as possible. If I were to make it bigger, it would actually make them catch on even more surfaces because the navigation wouldn't be aware of their size. And this hasn't happened again, that one of these characters got stuck. I'm not even sure how it had happened that one time. I guess we need to add like way more characters. Yeah, I don't see anything getting stuck. I mean, I could just leave this while I go take a break really fast. And then when I come back, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I really should take a break. All right, I'll be right back. Is it jump time? Is it jump time? It's jump time. Close the game. Now let's see if anything got stuck. Yep. Okay. So several things got stuck. But how? Good job, Prozac is whack. You did it indeed. I didn't actually do what place you came in. What is going on here? Can we set the navigation to be visible while the game is running? You might be able to, but I have it turned off, I guess, for these characters. But they're not even on, they're not even stuck here. I don't know what's going on. It's like they can't reach their destination. So weird. It's happening with customers and workers. I only have one adventurer, so it's possible that it could happen with everybody. Oh, what a time. What a time to be alive and struggle with this garbage. I wonder if it's one of these that's going wrong. Yeah. Regenerating the path every frame from opposite sides. Yeah, and I guess that wouldn't be obvious unless I had the paths visible for everybody. But it happens so infrequently that it's like I just had to let this run for a while. I guess let's do that. And I'll let that run while I'm looking through some stuff. I can't put the game speed to the max because then they get stuck like way too soon. Because they try moving like 8 times faster than they should, but these distances aren't any larger. So instead of moving 1 pixel per second, it's moving like 8 pixels per second, and it can't get within 3 pixels of a target. So yeah, it's rather unfortunate. I guess one of the problems is even if this thing gets stuck, it'll be impossible to tell which path is which, because there are so many of these things. Also, it takes a long time to happen. Man, what a difficult, just a difficult problem to solve. I wonder if had I just done this all from scratch myself, if it would have been this challenging. Hang on one second. Hang on a second. Okay. Yeah, I wonder if I had just done all this myself, if it would have been as hard. I feel like the Godot way would have been more performant in the end. I had a pathfinding challenge on Discord, yeah. Rami had that. Actually, Rami never posted the results, I guess. I still don't see anything that's gotten stuck here. Well, we know it can happen. We know it's incredibly oh, there it is. Yeah, but now we have the problem of I can't tell what's going on. Like, what are you doing? Where are you trying to go? I guess if we wait long enough, all of them will be stuck. And then we'll know. Yeah, I can't tell if this is generating new paths or what. It doesn't look like it. It looks like this point is always the same. And it looks like it's trying to go up from there. I don't know why it wouldn't be able to go up. Oh, maybe it can't reach its destination node? But that would have to be controlled by this, that it can't be within a certain distance. Allows agents to not have to hit a path point on a path exactly, but only reach its general area. This value is set too high, it'll skip points, which can lead to it leaving the navigation mesh. Okay, out of curiosity, let's set this to like 10, each of these, and just see what happens. I am curious. I think it's going to result in them, yeah, doing stuff like this, where they think they've hit their point a little too soon, and then they can't path around the corners. So this can't realistically be more than the radius that we had. And the character's speed is set to 1.7 pixels per second. But that's not even per frame. Per frame, I guess it's moving like a very, very tiny amount. In fact, to the point where I wonder if maybe we should set this to a low amount, like 1. And now it'd have to be like practically on top of the point. Maybe that would prevent them from ever getting stuck. It's, I don't know. We just need to let this thing run forever. No, they're getting stuck still. This behavior suggests to me that it's trying to reach a point that it can't reach. But it's not a collision problem that's stopping it from reaching it. What would it be, though? Does the adventurer ever get stuck? Where's the adventurer? Oh, there. The adventurer just got stuck. Because the adventurer is the only one that has stuff print out, although nothing's printing yet. Well, we know that it can happen then. We know that it was by decreasing that target position, whatever. So what we could do is we could turn off. Where is the customer logic? Create customer, just delete that. Hire random adventurers, delete that. Oh, this is still making workers. I don't want workers. Create worker. Okay, and then I want to print out something. I just don't know what. Maybe their destination? Yeah, maybe their destination. Print destination, or yeah, next path position. What else do we want? I mean, that's kind of it. I guess their current position. And then we just wait for this to happen. Yep. Nothing else I think we can do. Just wait for it to happen. And that way I can at least figure out what the problem is. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So let's take a picture. So it's jittering between these 2 points, just going up, down, up, down, up, down. And if I copy, we can stop the game at this point. But if I copy this, the next path position shouldn't ever be changing, right? Yeah, this is always the same. And we're just bouncing between these two y actually the x coordinate is changing a little bit too, but only very, very slightly. I'm guessing it never reached the destination, but I'm not totally sure why. So what's the actually I wonder if I could I'm gonna try something. How do you okay, yeah. Calculate the distance between these 2 points. I'd be a little bit surprised if it, oh nice. I mean, I don't need it to show its work. Okay, so 1.4225 units. Why? There's no problem with that, I think. I mean, in this case, I had set the path desired distance to 1, but it was originally 3. What's path max distance? Oh, this is recalculating a path. I wonder, what if we just never recalculate it? Since there's no avoidance, prevent recalculations. And maybe part of this is simplifying a path. I don't know. This is just really hard to tell. And now I think it's going to be even harder for us to hit this issue because I changed what this amount was. Like it was already an occurrence rate of what, like maybe a sixth of all the characters after 4 minutes of waiting around. Which means it might just never happen. Hey, crows. Hmm. I mean, yeah. There's another thing I don't totally understand. Why is this bluish? Like nothing should be. Oh, the shopkeep has a collider. That's why. I didn't realize. It's so that you can click them. Okay, never mind. That makes sense. Wait a sec. That collider is in a different collision mask, right? Did we cut that out of the navigation? No, it's on a static body, so it's not cut out. Okay. Oh, but technically the player can still collide with them, I think. I think. But I've never seen them get stuck on the shopkeep, so I don't think that's an issue. Yeah, the problem we keep running into is only when they're in between crates right now. This thing. And they jitter up and down. And I guess because they're not close enough to their destination. I don't know. All right, well, I want to save this code that I had. And I don't know where we put it exactly, but just copy paste the whole function. I know this is a mess. So I don't want this. I don't need this. Don't need that. I do need all of this stuff. Okay. So this was code that went into the navigation system. I'm going to just save this over here. Okay, so here's some code I had for cardinal movement. I think it was working totally fine, except that the navigation or the pathfinding wouldn't generate cardinal friendly paths. There. This wasn't that bad. I could probably have simplified a little bit of this, but I guess none of it really matters. Yeah. I just need this character to get stuck again so I can find out what's going wrong. Well, let's delete that code because we're apparently not going to use it. Hey, yo. We have this print stuff here. What I could do is I could make it so that this stuff prints out whenever any character gets stuck. Like it could detect that it hasn't really moved in a while. That would be easier than what we're doing here. Yeah, because here I'm just hoping that it eventually breaks. And it might take a very, very long time for that to happen. I wonder if we increase the game speed, if we could get it to happen faster. Because now they'll jitter like that. This is definitely a problem with them not being able to make it to the destination. What's weird is that their current position just keeps going lower and lower. Like they're not actually moving, but you see this Y coordinate fluctuating between like 220 and 300. It's just like 100 to 300. That's so strange. Yeah, that's really strange. These positions can't possibly be correct, right? Current position is just entity.position. Yeah. Like the character is just there the whole time. So how is this happening? If I pause it, is it that it hasn't flushed the buffer? I guess it hasn't. So it's possible, and this is just old printouts. So we need to wait for this to catch up. How fun. Because eventually we should just see the position oscillating between 2 points. This is ridiculous. I guess it depends on how long I had this running for, because it would print 60 of these messages per second. Well, eventually it's going to catch up. Yeah, we wouldn't need this function either anymore. Hey, dig it. I am using our own entity component system. So the general way this works is there's a node that gets added to entities called components. And then this thing knows how to store components in memory. And we can add and remove them. And we can, there are functions for when they're added or removed. Bunch of systems. Hey, Gamer Josh. Has this finally calmed down or no? No, it hasn't. Wait, there's one error? Too many messages. 819 messages were dropped. Well. How do I get back to the output? Yeah, here. Hey, we did it. Cool. Okay, so yeah, we do see them bouncing back and forth. And they're just not able to reach the target. That makes sense, though. That was definitely guaranteed to be a problem. I guess we need to just print out when there is an issue. So how do we detect that there's an issue? Well, it's when you've been in the same general area for too long. Or no, I guess when you've had the same destination for too long. Because in that one case, yeah, the destination just never changed. Okay, how do we do that then? Let's go to the navigation component and let's say like, I don't know, public int num frames with destination equals, well, I guess we said 0, and then public vector to last destination. Okay, now in the nav system, this is next path position. So we'll say if navigation agent dot last, what did I call this? Oh, no, it's not that. It's navigation component dot last destination. So if the last destination is equal to the current one, then what did I call it? Num frames of destination plus plus. Otherwise, set this to 0 and set the new destination. Now, if this number is greater than, I don't know, 120, how long does it ever take to go to a destination? Maybe even longer. Let's say 10 seconds. So if it's 10 seconds with the same one, then let's do gd.print these things. And just put a breakpoint there. Why do I use C# over GDScript? Don't you miss the hot reloading? I do miss the hot reloading. I've got a bit of an explanation for it in this. If you click why not GDScript here, and then this links to my opinions about GDScript. I just don't think GDScript is as good a language as C#. And I also ran into some issues with GDScript specifically. All right, let's try this out. This should maybe work. Oh yeah, now we got to add in all the other characters though. So let's go to town, create worker, put that back in. I think if you're using GDScript and you use the internal editor, that it is a much better experience than using the external editor. And then it wouldn't be nearly as bad or frustrating. But yeah, I just ran into a bunch of frustrations with it. All right, so now we just wait for a problem to happen, and it should automatically detect that a problem has happened. And we can even add more of these things. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this should break in less than 10 seconds now. There, nice. Ha ha, it has detected it. Okay, so next position is, actually, let's just print these things out. Next path position and entity dot position. And then I want to get the distance between those two things. Distance to, yeah, distance to entity dot position. It looks like a very small, wait, infinity. What? What? Is it distance to? Turns the distance between this vector and 2. Yeah, what? Infinity? Does that work the other way around too? Dot distance to next path position? Infinity? What is going on here? Distance to everything is infinity. What? Vector 2 dot 0 dot distance to new vector 2 1 1. That's correct. Well, that's new. Why does it think this is infinity? It's definitely not infinity. Godot vector distance to infinity. Well, that's weird. No one else is having this problem? Distance to returning infinity. Well, that's strange. But it's like these vectors are just broken. But I don't even know how that'd be possible. The distance to 0 is infinity. Could we do magnitude here? Vector 2 doesn't have magnitude. Oh, whoops. Wait. What is this thing called? Oh, length. I mean, its length should be the distance to 0. Yeah, 114. Is that correct? Yeah, probably. So bizarre. What if I do new vector 2 entity.position.x y? The new one works. But the existing one gives me infinity. I'm so confused by this. I don't know what could possibly be causing this. I don't have an explanation for this right here. How is this possible? Wow. Yeah, wow. Let's go to Godot's issues. And maybe if we just search that, we'll find something here. Distance to infinity. No one's had this problem? No one's had this problem. Check the other properties to see if it's potentially causing. What other properties could there be though? Isn't it just the X and Y that might matter? Entity dot position. It's literally just these two things. I don't. Oh, do we have a vector extension still? No, I deleted that. Right, we have. I can't read what that one is because of the. What is that? List array and yeah, that's it. New issue. I guess. I just okay. Wait. Let's try something here. Wait, no. What else could we even try? What could we validate in this case? What if we do entity.position plus new vector to 1, 1? Wait. What's that? Plus 26. What? Is that there the whole time? It wasn't. Look at that. I added 1, and all of a sudden it's 3 times 10 to the 26th. No wonder it thinks it's infinity. What's going on with that, though? Okay, that's bizarre. Y plus 1. Something's weird. Something's really weird. So strange. I don't even know how to like repro this to give them an issue because I'm. Oh, this is so bizarre. Am I modifying the position somewhere? I mean, nothing should be running this code. I guess we could just verify it by putting a breakpoint there. Hitting the play button. Yeah, nothing is running that code. Okay, let's break into this again. So we probably still have the same problem, right? This looks fine, but then we call distance to. The weird part, wait, maybe this isn't weird. Next path position dot distance to vector 2.0. What did I mess up? Next path position dot, oh yeah, I don't know dot position. Yeah, even that thinks it's infinity. Floating point issue? I don't think floating point issues could cause this. Like, okay, so if we look at what these properties are, both of these have this problem. Any dot position and next path position. These values are just like clearly less than 200, right? 108. Well, I guess the absolute value is less than 200. 108 and negative 33. 107 and negative 32, whatever. And the other thing is they're rendering just fine in the game. Oh, I can't show that now because it's frozen. And I don't get why adding 1 would all of a sudden make it be infinity. I mean, this something is bizarre here. And yet if I do dot y plus 1, it doesn't turn into infinity. There's something wrong with like, yeah, adding vectors. I just still don't get how this could even be a problem. If we look through the code and find distance 2. This might not be easy to find. This is an editor plugin. Oh, whoops. I meant to search up here. Distance 2. This 2 minus this dot length. 2 minus this. So if we do entity dot position minus next path position. Yeah, it gives us negative infinity. I really don't, I've just never seen this. And it's when we add a new vector, it gives us infinity, but when we add 1, it doesn't. Like, what could possibly cause this? Well, when you add 2 vectors, I guess what happens? I know this is vector 2i, and we're not using vector 2i, but still adding vectors should be pretty much the same thing, right? Operator plus left dot x plus y, right dot x, left dot y plus right dot y. That could not be any clearer. It's just adding the 2 things. What exactly is next path position? It's not a strange value or anything. It's just, it's like 108 point, what, it's these 2 things, 108 point something and negative 33. What's vector 2 normalized? Next path position dot normalized is the same thing. That's not possible. Oh, because I need to do that. Yeah. I mean, it's normalized value. This looks fine to me. I doubt we'd have any like problems with this. Vector 1, 1. Oh, new vector 2. Yeah. No, wait, it has that problem too. What? Even after normalizing it, adding 1 to it adds like infinity? Distance 2 method is different, but shouldn't break. Oh yeah, I don't think the problem is, for whatever reason, adding or subtracting to the x or y value here, and it's really just the y value. Where did their code go? Yeah, I want to refresh this page and go to here and go to their vector 2, this, and look at their operator plus. Did they, what, oops. Maybe it inherits from something and that gives us the operator plus. Oh, I hate C++. Struct vector 2i. What about vector 2? Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's exactly what I would expect. Be easy enough to test this with Godot script. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how we end up in this state. Actually, there's something. No, these are just floats. I was going to say maybe it has to do with there being an incorrect address here that's being passed in somehow, but even that, I don't know. Can you print this value using gdprint? I'd assume that such a fundamental thing is checked regularly. What I could do is I could do gd.print and then do next path position plus 1. And apparently vector 2.1 exists. Yeah. A new expression. Oh, whoops. What is going on with my keyboard right now? There we go. There's a key that like wasn't being held down correctly. All right, now we run this. And I want to print out this value here. Actually, let's just let it run. Do they have set position on vector? Maybe just manually do current plus next. I can't do that because I need move and slide to take into account the collision of things. Is this because stuff is getting stuck? This is what's causing stuff to get stuck, but I don't know why it's happening this way. All right, I'm just gonna keep adding workers. We'll eventually hit the problem. There, that should be enough. We should see it happen pretty soon. And then we just have to wait 10 seconds after it happens because that's how long my collision or my detection takes. It shouldn't be taking this long. Come on, none of them are getting stuck once I want them to get stuck. Well, I didn't change anything that would have fixed this. Oh, come on. Like, what is causing this? So you change the position instead of letting the move do that? No, what I'm saying is I call move and slide and it changes the position. Oh, there we go. That one's stuck. So now we just wait like 5 more seconds and then it should break in. Come on. Oh, wait, no, I didn't have it break in. That's why. Whoops. Okay, there. All right, so the +1 part, yeah, it looks like, I think 3D extend is right. I think this is just a debugger thing going wrong. Next path position plus vector 2.1. Yeah, I think it's something with the debugger. But what still doesn't make any sense is that it's got these coordinates here, current position and next path position, and the distance between these is not so great. Calculate the position between these 2 points. I'm not actually thinking there's any corruption here. I don't know what the problem is exactly. Notice trying to reach a point on some other plane. I don't think so. Did it calculate the distance? Calculate the position. What did I say that? Calculate the distance between these 2 points. I don't know what I don't know what just happened. All right, just spit it out already. Should be something tiny. Yeah, it is very tiny. Yeah, this is small enough that it would think that it reached it. Maybe Okay, there's one other thing I could think of here, which is we have some entity and it's trying to move along a path like this, and it can't get to like this spot right here. So an intermediate position. No, but it's just the next path position. And it doesn't ever know that it's there, right? I have to call get next path position every frame. And I should be doing that. Yeah. And the only way for any of this code to print out is if I had called this. I definitely am. Okay, maybe there's a bigger problem here. Yeah, maybe it's not a problem with this. Maybe it's actually hitting its target constantly. It might be. It's not easy to tell. I should have set the breakpoint like this. There we go. Now I just go down here. No, it doesn't think it's finished, but it does think it's at its destination, basically. What does its velocity end up being? 99.10 is, hold on a second. This is me just. Yeah, okay, good. I think I'll move inside. Yeah, weird. So it doesn't think that navigation is finished, even though it's at its destination. Well, wait, no, it wouldn't be finished. It would just be at the next path position. And then get next path position should give us the next one. It has to do with one of the agent properties. I mean, that's what I might think, right? Like maybe the desired distance or the target distance isn't high enough. But these are set to 3. And the actual distance that we are was whatever, some tiny value. I don't know where it was. This is 0.2 units away. So I don't think it's this causing a problem here. Any chance you somehow have a vector 3? No, I don't have any vector 3s. The distance before the normalize is smaller than 1, then the normalize would increase the vector and your times 100 would scale it bigger. I don't think that's how normalizing a vector works. So normalizing a vector should always set its length to be 1. The length will become 1 after that. So if it was smaller than it, so let's say it was like 0.01. I mean, I could just show this, I guess. New vector to 0.010 dot normalized. And then put this in parentheses. Can I convert a double to a float? Yeah. So it just turns it into 1, 0. So its length is 1. Actually, what happens when you normalize a 0 vector? Yeah, I guess its length isn't always 1. If it's a 0 vector, it's still a 0 vector. But if it's any non-zero vector, it'll just become 1. So it shouldn't involve it ever moving more than any speed it would normally move at, regardless of what direction it's facing. Still don't understand how it couldn't reach this, though. What would be kind of cool is if we deleted every other entity once this happened and then turned on paths for that. Do we have paths showing for everything? I think we do. All right, so how about this? Let's close out of the game. Let's go back to navigation component. Let's turn this off. Let's also turn it off for the adventurer. Debug enabled. Then what? What do we do? We turn it on for these ones. Navigation agent dot debug enabled. Cool. I guess stop printing this stuff. Yeah, all this is going to do is turn on, whatever. You're trying to move further than the target position and basically jumping around the target position. But it has a way of detecting that it's close enough to the target position. And why are these on? Didn't I turn this off? Debug enabled equals true. Whoops, meant to put that here. Yeah, it has a way of detecting if it's close enough to the target. And that should be working. Maybe that's broken. What does the debugger return if you calculate the distance of 2 fresh vectors? It returns the correct thing, which is like a small number. And I can show that here. Let me, I guess, add a bunch of workers. Why did I choose ECS? So I wanted to have reusable components, and I just wasn't sure how I'd do that with Godot's, like nodes and scene tree. I mean, I guess we ended up using it in the end anyway. I should probably add even more workers, huh? Wasn't the number of infinity? Not when I use 2 fresh vectors, no. Only when I use the vectors that already existed. Oh, wait. It's apparently just broken, which means one of these characters got stuck. Let me turn this off and click this. There we go. Okay, so there's the path. No. I gotta take a picture. Good. Okay, because it's gonna. Whoops. What's going on? No, go back to my last picture. No, it's gonna print out the other path. No. I don't know how I messed that up, but whatever. This shouldn't take that long for us to have that happen again. All right, just add a bunch of workers. What is that? Oh, whoops. I never deleted that. Well, that doesn't really matter, but I got to delete that. All right, let's go delete it now before I forget. Town scene, rogue. Good. Okay, we should see a character get stuck pretty soon. There we go. We should see the path print out pretty soon. I'll get ready to take a picture. Good. So it's this case. So let's go take a look at this. Whoa, what is going on there? All right, is this the right entity? So if we go to next path position, is 189.5, negative 26. So 189.5 would be like here, and negative 26 would be like here. So it's roughly, it's like a third of the way down the storeroom. Is that what we see in this picture? Yeah, I'd say that's correct. Okay. So it's pointing to the right spot, and it's not there, and it's jittering around. How do I start this again? It's jittering around this. So yeah, it can't make it to the next position, but I wonder why not. Huh. Let's make sure this is the same one. Yeah, it is. Jittering around there. So it's moving down and then moving back up, but its position isn't changing. It's not stuck on something, right? Can't be stuck on something. I think it was a red herring from earlier when I was like, oh, this is producing infinity. I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is that the character's here, wants to go here, and for whatever reason can't. So we have a next path position minus their current one, and then we move them along that vector. Is there something else happening up here that I left in? No. Yeah, so it's just this. And it's moving down, and then it's deciding that it needs to move up. So I guess I want to find out why it's doing that. I guess let's just go down here and we'll find out. So at one point it sets its velocity to this, and then the very next frame it should be setting it to something else. Now we hit the play button and we go down here, and now it's set to, yeah, it's set to the inverse. Why would that happen? Next path position, entity dot position. Okay, I hit the play button again. Okay, this should reveal everything. So this is frame 1, and this is frame 2. The velocity flips. Next path position is exactly the same, and the entity's position is, I mean, pretty much the same. Why would the velocity flip? Huh. Why is the velocity so big? The velocity is not so big. Its length is 100. And the length is 100 because that's what speed is set to. And remember that normalizing a vector makes the length 1. So then when you multiply by 100, it makes the length 100. And then move and slide will multiply that by the delta, and the delta is 1/60th. So we're actually going to move at 1.7 pixels per second. And if you look, that's what the position is changing by. I mean, most likely. I don't want to keep doing the math on this stuff, but what's the distance formula? Y2 minus Y1 squared. So X2 minus X1 squared. So, all right, let's try that. So this minus this squared plus this minus this squared. Let me make sure it's a plus. I'm pretty sure it's a plus. Yeah, it's a plus. Yeah, so add these two and then square root this. Math dot square root 1.6. Yeah, it's moving exactly the number of pixels per second it should be. Has a text calculator. This is an extension called VS Code Eval. I got a video I did on some of the extensions I use here. It's just evaluating JavaScript, which is why you do math.square root there. Yeah, so it's moving exactly 1.6666 whatever pixels. But somehow after moving, the velocity thinks it's got to be negative. And I guess let's just look at these things and see if that makes sense. Oh, wait, yeah, of course it thinks it's got to be negative because we somehow, our y coordinate is now above and here it was below. Then wait a second, this isn't exactly what I think. Then this is the next path position right there, that red dot. Does that make sense? How do I know for sure that I did this correctly? Because it says next path position is at -26, which is this line right here. So how many of these light gray stones are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many do we see? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's right beneath that. Yeah. Okay. So then I was wrong. It wasn't that it wanted to get to this one. It's that it wants to get to this one that it's already on top of. So yeah, I don't understand why it can't figure out that it's there. And what I think that would come down to is this stuff. The distance threshold before a path point is considered to be reached and set to 3. This allows agents to not have to hit a path point on the path exactly, but only reach its general area. If it's too high, it'll skip points on the path. If it's too low, it'll be stuck in a repath loop, which is what it is, because it'll constantly overshoot the distance. The problem is I don't understand how this is too low because it's set to 3, and at any point the distance is... Where's the frame thing that I have? Yeah, this. Let's just close all the other tabs so I don't keep having to do this. When can the next prototype be expected? Probably like July 19th or July 26th. That's what I would think. All right, so what is the distance? Distance to destination. Oh, I calculated the distance it moved. Okay, so now we got to calculate the actual distance. All right, fine. So it's this minus this squared plus this minus this squared, and then the square root of that. It's a very tiny value. Yeah. That's less than 3. How much progress are we hoping for? The general things that I wanted to do, the biggest one is address most of the feedback from the first checkpoint. Where's the design document here? Yeah. So I've got this written down here. The biggest thing is, address the feedback and have a little bit more gameplay. I think those are the big ones. I don't think the distance being infinite is actually happening in the game. I think we could print it out and see that it's not actually infinite. So we could say gd.print position to next, or no, not position. I must have said that wrong earlier too. Distance to destination is going to be entity.position.distance to next path position. Yeah. Let's rerun this. Did that button not do what I think it did? Oh, it did. Okay. All right, now we add all these things in. We added a bunch of workers. Just gonna keep pressing space. I should probably carve out a path for them to go up here instead of having to walk all the way around. All right, now break one of you. Get stuck on something. Let me make sure it breaks in on this. Good. Yeah. Is anything stuck yet? Still no? How many workers do I have to create? You gotta be kidding me. I've got like 100 something workers probably. None of them are gonna get stuck on a crate. All right, I should just add in a bunch more. Who cares? Yeah, poor blue roof guy. Totally alone. Could you run the... Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Well, not in the Godot console, I guess. But I'm going to just run it with GD... There we go. Okay, so now we wait 10 seconds, and then that should break in and should tell us the distance. Does it have a variable watch window? It does, yeah. There it goes. Okay, so it broke in, and it prints out 0.26. So yeah, it does think that the distance is very, very low. I don't know how it's not advancing to the next one. I just don't get how that's possible. Yeah, I don't get how that's possible. What if I call this again? 102. Whoa, wait. Yeah, okay. Navigation agent dot is navigation finished. False. What does it say about this? The use of this function once every physics frame is required. I mean, I got to be doing this once every physics frame, right? This is being called from pursue target location, which is being called from physics process. I guess we could further make sure there's only one of these kinds of things. ECS, or no, entity.get node components. All right, how many components do you have that try to find a target location? Storeroom, town, navigation agent, and target location. Yeah, there's just the one target location. Which means this is only being processed once. And we always have the navigation agent component, so we're always calling pathfind. Which means we're always calling get next path position. In fact, if I really wanted to, I could keep track of like a number of frames this thing has been alive and the number of frames that this function has been called. This is just so absolutely ridiculous at this point. Like, I shouldn't have to struggle with this stuff. Let's play for one frame so that we can see. Where's the game? There it is. Okay, let's hit play so that we can see the arrow pop up. What's going on? There. All right, so this character is trying to get over to there. Not that it really matters. I guess it's just it can't get to the current point. They had a return of navigation is complete. I do have a return if it's complete. Although that does happen after the get next path position, but the navigation's not complete. It's, you can kind of see from, where did that go? Yeah, you can see from this. Can I not take a screenshot? What is going on? Okay. So you can see from this that this character is the one that's stuck, and it's trying to move to exactly the point it's already on. And it just doesn't know that it's there. So the final point would be here in the path. Doesn't know that it's there, though. The thing controlling whether it knows that it's there is supposed to be this. You know what I wonder? Maybe let's try printing out the navigation agent's path desired distance. Maybe it's not 3 somehow. Maybe it thinks it's like 0 or something. Navigation agent. No, it's 3. Target desired. Let's just print out the whole thing. Yeah. What do you have in you? Avoidance is not enabled. Debug is enabled. Max neighbors, max speed. What is that? What is that? Navigation agent Godot. This. Speed. What is this? Maximum speed that an agent can move. What? Making navigation math. I know what you meant. Yeah, I am baking the navigation mesh after I change the geometry. Stuck in the corner. It's not stuck in a corner. Also, this max speed is a little bit concerning. I don't understand what this is used for. Like, I am moving at 100 pixels per second. Max speed. I mean, what if we set this to 200 or something like that? I wonder what that even controls. Is there anything else here, though? What is it that's breaking exactly? So this screenshot kind of shows this one skeleton is just jittering left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. And it's supposed to be going along this path. The problem is it doesn't know that it's reached its destination, even though it's like less than 1 pixel away from it. Maybe since physics delta is greater than in process, maybe it overshoots a position and you don't reach the target at some point. No, it's definitely reaching the target, because even inside this, at any given point, like these frames, the distance is less than 3. And like I could do the calculation here too. Let me just do an online distance formula. Yeah, that way I don't need to type this in myself. Okay, so first point is the entity's position, 189.40369. Next point is this, and then 189.5 and negative 26.807682. Yeah, so now the distance is this. So in either case, this is less than 1 pixel away, because at any given point, it's only moving this divided by 60. So that's how much these should be different. So if I do this value minus this value, they should be pretty close, these two numbers. And yeah, they're close enough. I mean, I guess they're off by a factor of 10, but whatever. Oh, wait, it's physics process, which is at double the... Nah, it doesn't matter. Do the characters move to decimal places? Yeah, they do. All right, well, I was looking at this. Is there anything else in here that might be strange? Name, owner, path max distance, desired distance. Radius? I don't think the radius is considered here. Target desired distance, target position. This has a velocity. What is that for? What is that for? Velocity. Sets the new wanted velocity. Avoidance simulation will try to fulfill this velocity. When an agent is teleported, set velocity force. I think this is for just using avoidance. And I think that's what max speed is used for as well. Can I search for that? When velocity is used. Yeah, I don't think this max speed is needed. Man, it's really hard to tell from just this. I guess we have to look at the code base navigation agent. Navigation agent 2D. It might be this. Speed. What is it used for? Max speed. Yeah, what are you used for? What? Navigation server set max speed, get max speed. If avoidance enabled. So it doesn't actually use max speed unless avoidance is enabled? I can't totally tell whether that's the case, but it looks like it's the case. Maybe the navigation server tries getting it if we just search for get max speed. Oh boy. Yeah, get max speed. Agent get max speed. Where's this used? What even cares about this? I don't see any code that utilizes this value, which leads me to believe that this doesn't really matter for us. Yeah. I don't think max speed matters, and I don't think any of these other things matter either. Like I don't see anything wrong with the navigation agent. I thought, oh, maybe I'm creating one from a different part of the code or something got messed up somewhere. I think it's just these parameters, and I don't know what to even set them to that this wouldn't happen. Like, what if we set these to 6? Then they probably just get stuck on other corners. This is so stupid. Well, on the plus side, I feel like I can focus and I'm kind of back to normal. We should probably have the add worker button add like 400 workers, so I don't need to keep doing this. Where do we do that? Town. Create worker. Oh, what if we just set the number of starting workers to 400? Surely that's not too many. Building. Hey, there are 400 workers. And you can see them kind of glitch out a little bit. Like they are all sort of walking slightly different ways. Yeehaw. All right, now we grant. I mean, maybe they never get stuck now. Wait a second. It's 3 divided by... Oh, nope, they still get stuck. Oh boy. They're still getting stuck. All right. Did it print out the path? This is an old screenshot, so that doesn't count. It hasn't printed it out yet. It should render soon. What's going on? There it goes. Wait, so it's a worker that just spawned and it's stuck in the portal? What? You're trying to go back to the portal? What? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Okay, well, I have an idea. We can use the same logic that I did earlier. Let's set these back to 3. Instead of setting the velocity to whatever stupid thing I have it set to, yeah, this. What if we were to check how much distance remains? Use that code that I have somewhere on GitHub here. Yeah, so it figures out how much the distance, whatever, I'm just gonna copy paste this. Okay, so it figures out the speed it's actually gonna move. So this is the distance it's going to move. Then this is the distance that actually remains, which is gonna be, yeah, distance. Distance absolute. This is the distance vector. This is like the target vector. So target vector dot length. Can length be negative? I'm not going to try to figure that out right now. I don't really care. All right, absolute distance, and then speed to use is either going to be, so this should be speed to use. And that's that. Now maybe this problem never happens again. Or maybe it does. Go, my 400 skeletons. Expand. Oh, wait, we gotta. There we go. All right, do any of you get stuck? Or did I fix the problem? Hate to lose. I like that. Copy paste is an indicator of good code because it shows you want to use it again. I think it's fixed. Yeah, I think it's fixed. Okay, well, I will say what I just did. What I did is I made it so that the entity should perfectly make it onto the target position. But that should have never mattered. So yeah, I don't get why everything's working so perfectly now. But whatever. Yeah. All right, now let's give them some items. Now they'll pick them up, but they have... Oh, wait, no, they won't pick them up? Did I make them not pick stuff up? Oh, yeah. I made them not pick stuff up. Yeah, because they never leave the wander state. All right, I want to put the game back to normal. Let's go to this customer. Put this back in. And do I have to do anything else? I don't think so. Yeah, so how I fixed it is I made it so that they only go exactly to their destination, this code. It used to be that the only thing that was happening is I would just say, set the velocity to the direction you want to move in times the speed. But now I set it to speed to use. So if you would overshoot, then now it won't overshoot. The problem, the thing I don't understand with any of this, like, okay, let's say this worked. Why did this work? The entire reason that this exists, path desired distance, is so that you don't need to be at the destination exactly. Like, I was 0.7 pixels away. Why did this not actually take effect? And the only thing I could think is that 0.7 times 60? No, physics frames happen every 30 frames. Maybe this needed to be set to like 21? I don't know the units for this. That's the problem. It's distance, so it's probably in pixels. Yeah. Well, what was I just testing? I wanted to have customers actually work. Are there customers? Yeah, there are. All right, grant items. Go. Deliver the items. Yeah, wow. They're very efficient. All right, let's get a quest. Now they can dump 10 items over here. Yeah. Just get rid of all your weapons that way. Yeah, neat. These customers are going to run out of money pretty soon. I don't see anything that got stuck. Yeah, looks like we just kind of fixed everything. Hey, Digital Dave, and hey, Broken Crown. Rounding error. Maybe the destination turned out to be a wall or other blocking entity. I don't think so. Based on what we saw, like we have pictures of what. Oh, did I close that? Yeah, this was a picture of what was going wrong. We had a character. Where was it stuck? We had a character that was. No, I guess it was this one. We had this character, and they were on top of their destination already. And I printed out all the values that we had, and it looked like this. So frame 1, they were 0.7 pixels away. Frame 2, they were 0.9 pixels away. And they just kept bouncing back and forth, I think, between these two frames. So at any given time, they were less than a pixel away. And I have this saying they can be up to 3 pixels away. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. In fact, you know what? Maybe this is just a bug. How would we even find out? We'd need to look at path desired distance. I want to see if I can find this really fast. Path desired distance. Somewhere this needs to be used. If math is equal approx. Return. Where do you get used? Path desired distance. This is within waypoint distance. Get path. And then the path index if it's less than the desired distance. And it's just a distance too. Yeah. So is within waypoint distance should have been fine. We did advanced waypoint. Advance to the farthest possible waypoint. Is within waypoint distance. Trigger waypoint reach is last. Yeah, I don't know what was going wrong here. We would have needed to debug Godot itself, I think. Never seen a bisected keyboard before? Yeah, this is so the bisected component of it is not so crazy. There's a do I need to move the camera? No. There's a Kinesis keyboard, Kinesis Advantage, I want to say. No, not that one. Yeah, something like this. Like this is also a split keyboard, but this looks like a regular keyboard, just that happened to be split in half. This, what I'm using, does not look like a regular keyboard. This has only 36 keys, so it involves a different kind of mental process for typing on it. Maybe something about this issue. Let's take a look. Target desired distance works relatively on path desired distance. I mean, this was already fixed though. And this is if the two things are different. Mine were the same. I don't know. I don't know what went wrong, and we just have to do this. Did anything end up getting stuck here? Does anyone see any skeletons that are just stuck on a crate? No, it looks like they're all moving. Wow. Well, this was a ton of work. And we're not even totally done, but we're pretty much done. Did that work correctly? Are they like moving to the item to pick them up? It's so hard to tell when the entire storeroom is just flooded with skeletons. I guess let's thin the herd a little bit. We have 400 of the workers and 64 items that can be held. It's probably working. Guess I'll just keep granting items and see what happens. There we go. Yeah, probably working. All right, now just for laughs, let's create like 1 billion customers. Whenever one slot opens up, all of them run over there. All right. Yeah, so as customers buy things, they'll just get replaced immediately. It's a hive mind. The event is never emitted. You will get navigation finished, but not target reached. Oh, I'm not going to make them avoid each other. Also, I don't think we're going to have so many entities that it's going to be a problem. Yeah. Well, thanks for looking into it, Cereal Pie. I guess there weren't enough customers to get rid of this crazy amount of items. We can dump some of them this way. Look at them restock. The customers just go buy them. Fantastic. Are they actually making it there? Yeah, I guess so. Are they making you rich? You can see my money at the top. I cheated my way up to about probably 698,000. So you can see they're earning a bunch of money. But as the customers run out of money, they'll just disappear and new ones won't replace them. This is the next thing I want to do is make the AI a little bit smarter. You can see they're all kind of just wandering around. They should just find new targets. Yeah, why are they leaving some empty and walking away? Because this was coded very just hastily originally. They have to spend 2 seconds wandering. Where is that code? Yeah, where is the code that leaves this? Wait a second, what? Something should use this property, does it not? Oh, customer wander, here it is, yeah. They need to spend 2 seconds wandering, and then if they try targeting something that gets taken by somebody else, then they just have to spend another 2 seconds wandering. So that's something that shouldn't be too hard to fix, I think. Yeah, so we, I like way overshot how long I wanted the stream for. The stream has been on for 3 hours and 50 minutes. It is a little after noon. I want to go get lunch. And then in about an hour, we're going to come back and fix this stuff up and then never touch it again. It's not never touch it again, but hopefully we don't need to do anything about it for a while. Yeah. This was just really involved. And it might be worth making a quick repro of that issue where, yeah, every once in a while something just gets stuck. Like, it's probably a bug in Godot, but I don't know how I'd be able to find it. That was your feeling? Yeah. And I wonder, is this easier in other engines? Like, is it better in Unreal? Is it better in Unity? Unity probably also uses nav meshes. Unity nav mesh. Yeah. And I like the idea of nav meshes. They're actually pretty simple. So you generate a set of polygons. So in this case, like this whole rectangle would be walkable. And then maybe this hallway would be a set of rectangles here. And then whenever you're within one of these polygons, because it's a navigation mesh and it says what could be navigable, you can just draw a straight line to your target. So if you're anywhere in this square and you want to go anywhere else in the square, it's just a straight line. And when it's not a straight line, you make a graph out of all of the polygons and then A-star your way through those polygons. There are other things that make this more complex. There's like, how do you traverse tunnels and yeah, how do you find the shortest path to different polygons knowing that they can be irregular shapes? Can't port to Unity. Yeah, it's just not possible. Oh, yeah. Well, look, I'm feeling pretty good about this. We've got our work cut out for us for this afternoon. It's pretty much all this stuff. And yeah, let's get to it. I am going to get going for now, though. So I will hopefully see you all after lunch. If not, have a good rest of your day. And yeah, thanks for following along. Here's the Discord link. See ya.